Now it's time for the Progressive Game Flow. One of the greatest traditions in all of college football, the dotting of the I.
Beautiful.
Very few non-sousaphone players have ever gotten to dot the I. The former president, Novice Fawcett, comedian Bob Hope, the former legendary coach Woody Hayes, and even James Buster Douglas did that.
How about that?
Very few as we bring you inside the horseshoe.
Buster Douglas leveraged that knockout of Tyson.
Yes, he did. He got
Special,
as much out of it as you might expect. Capacity 102,780. We'll be shy of that today, but not very far shy of a full house. The Buckeyes will receive. Tulsa won the toss and deferred. Zach Long will be kicking it away for the Golden Hurricane. Emeka Egbuka is back deep. And it's fielded and up to the 24-yard line, taken on the bounce by Xavier Johnson. 13-yard return. The ball at the 24 as you look at C.J. Stroud. Now look, outstanding passer, yes, but he's had some moments of anxiety when he's missed high. And when he has missed high, problems have occurred. Some turnovers a time or two. And he's not the threat to run that Fields was a year ago.
Well,
TreVeyon Henderson is going to open in the backfield, Spencer, the outstanding freshman.
May not be yet, Tim, but he can run the ball. They just need to flip the script. It doesn't need to be 54 passes. It needs to be just the opposite.
Henderson almost popped it right there on first down. This kid, the freshman from Hopewell, Virginia, outstanding. If you look at the rest of that Buckeyes offense that amassed over 612 yards, led by senior Thayer Munford up front. Whippler is in for Harry Miller. That's the junior that's been injured all season long. Mayan Williams is who we expect to see toting it most often. He's a tremendous talent. Former Ohio Player of the Year as a junior. And Henderson takes it ahead and is hit by Justin Wright, the Mike linebacker. And it'll be third and short. You look at that defensive front. It's a 3-3-5 alignment that defensive coordinator Joe Gillespie has in play.
It's a tricky defense to stop. Can blitz from all different directions in this front.
That's Henderson again trying to get to the edge. And he does. That's a pickup of 2. So move the chains. L.J. Wallace, the strong safety, making the stop.
That's an excellent example, Tim, of what can happen with this 3-3 front. Justin Wright coming from that Mike position up in the backfield. They play on the other side of the ball, does this Hurricane stop unit.
From the 35.
It's a 3-man rush.
Up to Henderson again, the safety valve. And he's ahead to the 40-yard line before being racked up by Tyan Davis. A 5-yard gain. Let's get your keys, Spencer T.
Well, Timmy, we've seen them pretty much. You know, you want to establish the run. You got to play fast and physical. What they did last week, throwing it 54 times and rushing it just 30, you need to do just the opposite of that. And of course, generate a pass rush. If you can do that, you make them play left-handed. And then the opposite side of the ball, you got to test the safety. We talked about that in the open. And then what Tulsa can do is attack the football to get turnovers, to put the ball back in this vaunted offense's hands.
Henderson. They can stopped it near the line of scrimmage. Those keys, by the way, sponsored by Fubo TV. Watch live sports and TV without cable. Try for free at FuboTV.com.
Timmy, you can see right now that Johannes Burnett, number 35 and company, Sawyer in the tackle as well. Those guys really flow and they play with great integrity. One of the crazy or funky things about this 3-3-5 front is you can bring pressure from a number of places that it's really tough to account for because you just got those 3 down linemen. It could be linebackers, it could be corners or safeties that are blitzing. You got to identify them.
Seldom used Master Teague is checked into the game. A year ago, he was the go-to guy. That pass, a quick look incomplete for Garrett Wilson. And again, wild high. The young quarterback Stroud. Those early moments in games, Spencer, when he misses targets, he misses them high.
Yeah, Tennille Martin, number 7, the safety was right behind him too. So Davis is there as well, and the safety in close proximity. So once again, this is a pretty active back end, Timmy. They bring pressure from a lot of different areas. So you're asking this young quarterback, as gifted as he is, C.J. Stroud, to sort it out on the back end.
Mirko will punt it away. from Fremantle, Australia. One of 53 Aussies kicking and punting at the Division I level. End over end, Camden Benjamin with the fair catch after a 42-yard boot.
Well, I was about ready to say I thought Tulsa was being a little bit arrogant by deferring the way that they did, but I think that tells you a little bit about the mindset of Philip Montgomery. He's trying to put together a year that was reminiscent to that 2016 record-setting year when they put up all those offensive numbers. Let's see what this offense has in store.
All right, here comes Davis Brin. Young man, redshirt junior from Bourne, Texas. 19 of 27 for 224. Really played a pretty clean game in that defeat against Oklahoma State. A game that really they had a very good chance of winning. They allowed 21 points in the fourth quarter in Stillwater. And, of course, the team they lost to in the opening week, UC Davis, coached by Dan Hawkins, the Hawk of Colorado and Boise State fame, really surprised him at home.
Wow.
Opening pass, and it was right in the breadbasket of Ethan Hall. Hitting between the 4 and 7. Spencer, he was wide open.
Well, I'm telling you, Ethan Hall, the E or the tight end, was working number 47 up undetected, Tim. That's what we talk about, being able to sort things out from this safety position. You've got to find somebody in there who can do it.
Watch for the issues. You see the twin safety approach. Now they come up and fudge a little against the
that's
run.
how you defend the run.
And it was well done, as you saw Hickman 14 cheat a little bit and come up and make the play on Prince, Derek Prince, number 8.
Yeah, Ronnie came down, did a nice job of filling there, Timmy.
Well, you see the offensive line. Gerald Wheeler is a leader, as is Dylan Couch. They're very high on their offensive front. Juan Carlos Santana, along with Shamari Brooks in the backfield. Keep an eye on those two guys. Keelan Stokes unable to go. He got injured a week ago, and that's a big, big miss for this Tulsa offense.
Yeah, he was one of the 3 receivers over 100 yards against OSU, so they're definitely going to miss his numbers.
3rd down and 9.
Nice movement.
Yeah, and a beautiful curl that's run by Crawford. Number 9, Sam Crawford out of Rockwell, Texas. He had a big day, 3 catches for 57 last week.
What's the nuance here in the tandem look here up the field, and then the nice move? It's just a pivot route, but really it was Davis Brin, the quarterback, who had the little subtle adjustment, kept his eyes upfield and delivered on time. That little nuance allowed him to extend the play. It would go undescript, but it was an excellent job on his part.
All right, something to notice about this Ohio State defense, in addition to all of the issues they had a week ago, where are these coaches? We're going to talk about that when we come back. That's a new face on that sideline. Upstairs in the booth, you see defensive coordinator Kerry Combs. So he's moved off the sideline. There he is circled. And secondary coach Matt Barnes has moved down to the sideline. He is calling in the defensive signals. There's been no change in terms of job titles by head coach Ryan Day, but clearly responsibilities for today's game have changed. That's Prince on the stretch play. Very little, if anything, on first down as Cameron Brown runs him down, 26. Zach Harrison, number 9. Spencer, he is one of the future first-round draft picks potentially. He can't go. Unofficial word is that he's got back issues. That's why he can't play. So that means they're trusting a freshman and maybe a sophomore to come in and help, as well as Taraja Mitchell at that position.
Well, right now, the Golden Hurricane are finding little voids on the left side of this defense. Obviously, game planning, figuring out where those soft spots are. And to your point, Tim, number 14, Ronnie Hickman, is going to be the guy, it looks like to me, that's going to be asked him on to step up and be that person that fills in and does those multiplicity of assignments that they expect from that center fielder at free safety.
Ethan Hall, who dropped one earlier, made that catch for a first down. Wow. Oh, how about that? Prince is wide open. I mean, a busted assignment. Big time.
Good Lord.
Busted assignment right there.
And you're not going to find that very often. Again, that's an elite athlete that you're looking to transfer from Texas A&M. And Prince has got great talent, man. Tremendous skill set. And when you see him, and when this happens, Timmy, you have to look at what caused it. I firmly believe the ball in his near hand needed to be on the outside that he can maintain his balance.
Davis Brin, 3 for 4.
Nice. Oh, just a drop.
Another one. Pretty decent coverage that time. Pass for Juan Carlos Santana. Cameron Brown was all over him. And a little bit of help coming from Bryson Shaw, 17.
Yeah, Cameron Brown is going to be the field safety. Usually when they say the field, what that means is you're going to put your most athletic guy who you believe has the range to cover the most space.
Heard some steps, Spencer. You heard a few steps that time, I believe.
She had a little bit of alligator arms in
Yeah,
her.
a couple of drops, or Davis Brent would be 5 for 5. Second down and 10.
The switch route's putting pressure on this defense.
Brent again, lots of cushion for Juan Carlos Santana. He's ahead for 8, 2 yards shy of the first down.
Well, Philip Montgomery is so creative again as a play caller, obviously as the head coach too, but he calls his own plays. He's been doing it a long time. He's not a guy that you can intimidate. He incorporates some veer-type schemes when they do run the ball, and then he comes out with those 4 verticals. All that means is 4 wide receivers, and they will tend to run vertically up the field more often than not. And what that tells you is they've got confidence in this mature offensive line to protect long enough to give Davis the opportunity to make plays.
They gave him 9, so 3rd and 1 with Prince in the backfield. Little jet sweep action to Ford. Jay Ford burrows ahead for the first down. Ford, a junior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, by way of Garden City Community College. This is a veteran team that won 6 games a year ago, got all the way to the conference title before losing to Cincinnati. All 3 of their losses last season, Spence, were by single digits. They were in virtually every game. Montgomery has taken them from the depths of despair his first couple of years to really being a contender in the American Conference.
Philip Montgomery's got to be proud of that left side. Tyler Smith and company doing a good job.
Right up the middle. Not much room that time for Prince. We'll call it a gain of 1, and that's it.
Yeah, the Buckeyes firming up their defense on these short situations, but right now, Timmy, I think that the Golden Hurricane is doing a really good impersonation of what we historically have known Ohio State to be, mixing up the run and the pass. Again, not so much running dominated, it's more of a passing attack, there's no question about that. But on this current drive, 10 plays, 55 yards, Timmy, and they're possessing the ball, which is something you don't want the visitors to do. 4-man rush.
Oh, that pass was airmailed. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 9. Santana, the intended receiver again.
So with 2 deep safety looks. Now here's the thing you take away from that. If you're sitting up in the booth and you, Coach Carroll, you say to yourself, he was open. It was a 2-high safety, and it was a zone over the top of that. All that meant there was open grass, and this offense is not unlike the air raid in regards to what area of the field they're going to attack. Where you're not, that's where they're going with the ball.
They were only 26% on 3rd down conversions coming in, but so far today they're 2 for 2.
3-man rush, they're playing zone behind it. Got him.
Perfect pass, right where you wanted it. It's Juan Carlos Santana, a little Onyekoniova.
And they can ill afford to have him nicked up. I mean, he's got to be able to shake that off, because we talked about the 3 receivers that had over 100 yards last year. He's one of the 3. And then, of course, Sam Crawford, the other. And, of course, Keelan Stokes is out. But this is another dart, Tim. Delivered high just a little bit. Watch him go high point this ball.
Yeah.
And it might have been a little bit early contact there, too, as well. Comes down on that shoulder and head.
Well, Brent on this
off.
drive is 5 out of 8 for 67 yards. And, yeah, they can ill afford to lose Santana with Keelan Stokes already on the shelf. First down, 10. Ball is now at the 12-yard line.
Now, see, the grass is up top over the zone. Let's see how they get there.
Brooks in the backfield. Shamari gets to 11. That's a 1-yard gain, and that's all. They can get the first down at the 2. That was Hickman on the stop, number 14.
You know, one of the things I'm noticing, Tim, is what Ohio State is not doing. If you take a look there at Ronnie Hickman, number 14, they're not rolling to the coverage. In other words, they're asking these replacements in many cases to stand static. Just do your assignment. I'm not asking you to disguise anything. Line up in it and just be basic and run your defense.
Bryn, a curl, and it's close to a first down on the second effort by Ezra Naylor. The second, the grad transfer from Kansas, very close to the first down yardage.
The length of Ransom is there. You know, he's got good size of about 6'1", 205. But again, what this Hurricane offense is doing, Philip Montgomery is just finding these soft spots in this zone. At some point in time, Ohio State, if you got the athleticism, and we all know they do, they've got to force the issue if they're going to find a solution.
That was a nice move by Naylor to know where the sticks were. It's just a yard to go for the first down, 3 yards away from a touchdown. But Eric Prince is back. Look at that motion.
You got bunch numbers here now. How do they handle it, sort this out inside zone read?
That's a good job.
Prince had it. He may have lost a half yard to a yard. And that's Paloie Nyote Ote, young man that's going to be pressed into duty today in major ways, not just behind Grant, but also picking up more playing time because of other injuries in front of them.
Nyote Noite, not really confused by that bunch formation. That's just a little window dressing, eye candy, if you will, just to find out if this kind of ragtag group that they put together here, and again, I'm not meaning any offense whatsoever, but if you got these starters and not anybody in their right mind has got to believe that Ohio State is going to match up better against Tulsa.
So Zach Long will try a field goal. 22 yards, and he puts it right through. The grad senior gets the job done out of Pacific, Missouri. 3-0 after a wonderful drive by the Golden Hurricane. There you see Davis Brin. He had 2 big-time drops. Otherwise, he would have been 8 of 9. He was 6 of 9 for 75. And the big catch came from Juan Carlos Santana, who, as you mentioned, high-pointed it, Spencer. Got hurt, but it looks like he's going to be okay and will be able to return.
Yeah, they made beautiful music on this pitch and catch right here, right? Living true to his surname, man. He brings this down, and I love the fact that he high-pointed at Tim and took the injury as well, sure-handed.
He threw a little Omia Kimba on you, and you went nowhere with it. You were focused. You were ready for the replay.
That, man.
Yeah. Emeka Egbuka waits the kick of Long.
Zach Long, your kickoff for Tulsa.
Sometimes a game can't come soon enough, and I'm sure Ohio State's players feel that way. As you see the kick fielded by Egbuka, and he gets it up beyond the 25 to the 27-yard line, a 17-yard return. Bucks will have it when we come back.
Oh.
There's only one 2-time Heisman winner, and Eddie George, a very special talent. Now one of the head coaches,
Tennessee State.
That's right, in the great game of college football.
Timmy, I was with the Oilers when he came out before we moved to Tennessee, and this is on the back end of my career. I'd never seen a physical specimen quite that big as a running back. That guy was huge.
Incredible talent. Henderson in the backfield. Stroud lets it fly again. There was a mix-up on that route between he and Olave. He may have tripped and fallen, but he went inside as though he was running.
Well, it was off coverage, and so he's going out of his break, and he just slipped on it.
Yep.
You know, sometimes when you don't make those routes crisp like that, they tend to happen on those crisp routes, but when you round it off, that can happen from time to time.
It is field turf here.
Yep.
And the turf monster has popped up a couple of times already.
So you got 11 personnel here. That's 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end.
There's a slant. It's caught. It's Garrett Wilson. First down at the 48, a 20-yard gain in front of TreVeyon Fuller, number 2.
Yeah, TreVeyon Fuller, man, he's about 6'1", 180 pounds, got caught in his hip pocket. And when you got in that trail technique right there versus man coverage 10, all you need to do is deliver on time, and that's exactly what C.J. Stroud did. Gave his receiver a chance to make more.
Henderson remains in the backfield. They go with a power look here. And there he goes. He pops it inside the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, this is Ohio State football right here. This is what you're looking for. Offensive coordinator Kevin Wilson. You know, he'll bring some 2 tight end looks in there occasionally, but you got the off guard and H pulling, and then that tackle kicking out on the other side. That's Paris Johnson. All those guys doing a wonderful job. The junior, wonderful job of executing on that kick out.
Pick up a 6, so second down and 4.
Same personnel group, and they kind of like this 11 personnel.
Well, you'd think that they've got their opponent today outmanned, so why not play a little power football?
Yeah, I attack the right side of the field here. You got the safety you got to deal with. There you go.
Henderson, pretty well stoned at the line of scrimmage. Tyneal Martin, number 7, the senior transfer out of Sacramento, came up to help stuff that run, so a little bit of help for that initial forward wall that consists of Wick and Stevenson and Jackson Player for Tulsa. Third down and short. We'll call it 3rd and 2. Again, it's one of the real mysteries here. Henderson's a great talent. Here he is on his own, manages to get a first down, but it's one of the great mysteries, Spencer, that Master Teague has been seldom used. I mean, was not a factor at all. No carries after just 6 touches for 29 yards the first week.
There's always a reason for that. You remember we saw a similar situation in Oregon a couple of years. You had a starting running back that for all intent and purposes should have been the starter, but there's always another narrative, maybe managing some other issues, Tim, we may not be privy to.
First down 10. Henderson remains the setback.
Play action.
Plenty of time.
Oh,
on the post, and he overthrows his man, Olave. And again, you see him saying, my bad. He knows. I think the youngster just is a little bit, a little bit feeling some anxiety in these early game situations.
Well, that one was a little bit more than off, Tim. That was high, and it was deep than it should have been. And I'm not sure exactly what the temptation was. Wallace, number 22, the other opposing safety, was actually coming down for run support. The play actually kind of got him, and he had the slant route over there. So he was wide open, put the ball out in front, let the receiver run underneath.
2nd and 10, Henderson dumped at the 36-yard line by L.J. Wallace. Gain of 7.
Look, L.J. Wallace is number 22. Is not afraid to put his nose in there, man. He's been active. He was on coverage on the last play in a deep safety position, and now you see him around the line of scrimmage making another play. They have done a wonderful job of deploying him, and he's kind of basically what Parker was to this team for Ohio State last year.
Little run-pass conflict situation here.
Yep.
And Henderson lost the ball. Wow. He is recovered by Ohio State. That's Nicholas Petit-Frere, 78, that got on top of it, the junior out of Tampa. And I think maybe the near fumble and turnover enabled the first down. I don't think he had the first down until the ball came free and it was recovered.
Well, remember our takes, the key to the game, Tim, was about attacking the ball, right? We want to attack the football to generate those turnovers with another Buckeye down now on the field.
That's Bryson Powers, 21, that knocked the ball free. He was short of the first down until the fumble took place. Thayer Munford is the guy that is down, and that would be a big loss, the left guard. He's one of the leaders, the senior from Cincinnati.
And he's one of the brightest players they've got, Tim, up there.
We talked to him just yesterday. Told us, hey, man, we know as offensive linemen, we're the big dogs. We'll check on him and be right back.
Timmy, here's the play right here. Thayer Munford, number 75. He just got rolled up on, right? A lot of trash down there. You can see those guys with the big braces on. There's a reason why they have those braces on. Some of them have existing injuries, but it's really preventative in most cases because of that very thing. Guys are down there around those ankles and knees.
Well, Matthew Jones will have to come in for him, 55. He's a junior out of Brooklyn, New York. 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Buckeyes with just their second
Tulsa
possession.
have problems communication here. And it just can't come out of the breaks, Timmy. They had him dead to rights and just wasn't able to. There was Olave, number 2, the split end. The Z position was wide open. Just couldn't execute. And that's really what's been the problem, right? It's about execution, Timmy.
Stroud's only 2 out of 6. I mean, he's rattled. Let's face it. And I don't know that it's anything other than the pressure from within at this stage.
I agree, because you're at home. Listen, everything should be familiar. He's just young.
Teague trying the left side. Bounces off one tackler and gets ahead. Yards after contact. L.J. Wallace, 22, comes up to make the play.
Love how Justin Wright, number 30, again, that Mike linebacker. He's really a pure or natural Mike linebacker. Wallace again around it as Coach Day looks on. And he's watching his team trying to sort something out, but they're earning every bit of it, man. It isn't pretty, but they're trying to impose their physical will against this defense. This guy right here, man, he's a natural player. He's more of a classic Mike linebacker, bigger.
Teague is the setback.
Wow, he can play.
Boy, was that well defended by Tulsa. They knew that was coming.
Yeah, and it's that guy again, Justin Wright. Again, what you're looking for from a Mike linebacker, somebody who can diagnose players involved in it as well, but hit those gaps, right? There's a reason why you have just 3 down linemen. Those guards are uncovered, and you're hoping those linebackers can fill them. Watch him feel and flow. Watch him read and react. Reading like a computer. Now, where's the void? There I am. I'm converging at the point of attack. Even though he didn't get him down, he's part of that.
Yeah, he disrupted it.
That's outstanding, man.
Jackson Player gets the tackle, but it was Wright that disrupted the play. You're right. Noah Ruggles will try a field goal for 44 yards. Senior transfer from North Carolina boots it. To some extent, when you're in the situation Ohio State is defensively, you need to play complementary football. A long drive leads to 3 to tie the game.
Verizon Business Unlimited starts with America's most reliable network. Then we add the speed of Verizon 5G and offer plans as low as $30 per line. More businesses choose Verizon than any other network. We are open and ready for you.
Reggie Bush used to eat breakfast somewhere else. Then he tried Wendy's breakfast. Now we can't get rid of him.
Can you believe this breakfast croissant is only $1.99?
Yeah, Reggie. I put the sign up.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1-for-$1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
This Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman. Happy to have you with us here on FS1. 12-play, 47-yard drive. 4:39 off the clock. In a lot of ways, I think Ohio State sent a message in terms of what they were trying to get out of that drive. In some measure, it was let's keep our defense off the field. Ford will take a knee, and it's a touchback. Davis Brin is a young man that played a couple of games for injured Seth Boomer late in the third quarter of the Tulane game last year.
He was outstanding.
And then came in and threw a Hail Mary to Juan Carlos Santana at the end of regulation to help him win. This is a kid that is really outstanding. Loves Will Ferrell movies, by the way. Step Brothers, his favorite movie. Always a good one. And Flipper is, I'm sure, his favorite animal.
I thought he may have been a fan of the Born Identities series there, since he's from Bourne, Texas.
Listen, he's only thrown one poor pass. The other 2 were dropped.
Well, he was, I remember him as like the 3rd position. He was like 3rd on the depth chart.
Yes, he was, just a year ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he's come a long way in a short span of time. Little out pattern to Crawford. He can make you miss, Sam Crawford. Started all 9 games last year.
Well, the one thing that the Golden Hurricane can say is you've driven the ball on us, but we sustained one longer, and then we consumed more plays than you did, and so they're doing a great job of impersonating Ohio State.
Zone read to Shamari Brooks ahead for a first down to the 36-yard line. Brooks out of Union High School. Tulsa, Oklahoma is your home. Yep. You know a lot about these guys and where they come from, and in many cases, they thought they'd be at Oklahoma. They thought they'd be at Texas, and Tulsa's always, about every 3rd or 4th year, been outstanding because of the level of talent that they get there. There's Brooks again, stopped by Haskell Garrett, 92, who's been a big play contributor out of Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, Nevada. This Brad Sr. for this team. We've come to the end of one here in Columbus, where there are still more questions than answers in the short and long term of the 2021 season. A reminder for those of you just joining us, up in the booth you see defensive coordinator Kerry Combs. That's new. He's normally on the sidelines. Matt Barnes, the secondary coach, normally in the booth, is calling the defensive signals for Ryan Day in the middle of your screen. And there's more to unpack, and we'll get to that shortly. Second and short. Coming up, second down and 12. Green with plenty of time to throw. And it is reeled in, I think, by Brooks late. No, they're going to say incomplete. So that's another drop. The ball was right on the chest of Shamari Brooks.
Shamari Brooks should have had that. You know, running backs oftentimes don't find themselves in that situation, but there's no reason why he shouldn't have hauled that one in. And you can look, there's Coach Rhodes there. Paul Rhodes is three-time defensive coordinator at the Division I level. He's been at some great places. Auburn. He knows a little bit about defense.
He is officially an analyst here, but he is helping out on the sidelines now as those signals are being sent in by Matt Barnes, the secondary coach. Out pattern to a wide-open Naylor, and he's got a first down. I mean, there's plenty of cushion out there, Spencer. It is clear how safe the Buckeyes are playing it defensively.
Again, they're just playing. It's a nice little switch route with a pivot in the back of it, Timmy, and that's what made it really difficult to respond and cover from that. And it's not anything complicated. It's about trust. Like you said, the off coverage is there for a reason. They're not playing tight, classic Ohio State man-to-man coverage, which defined their 2019 run.
That was Cameron Martinez, number 10, a redshirt freshman out of Michigan, over there to make the play. A lot of young players out there. It's popped by Brooks, and he's ahead for about 6 on first down. Ronnie Hickman, number 14, with the tackle. They'll call it a 5-yard gain.
They're trying to sort this thing out. You know, we were showing the picture of Kerry Coombs there. He spent a couple of years in Tennessee with Mike Rabel, one of the great Ohio State linebackers, is the head coach there now. He coached a lot of first-round draft picks, 5 of them, doing that stretch from 2014 to 2018, and that's really what they're missing here, that elite talent level.
Some late movement with personnel groupings.
Wow.
Ohio State was not ready for that snap, Spencer. There's Johnson. Josh Johnson, who's in for Keelan Stokes with a first down. Those late changes with personnel groupings, they were not lined up for that snap.
Absolutely, and that's what we talked about at the top of the show. And then this pace and tempo, Philip Montgomery's offensive scheme is just finding those voids. Another 4 vertical looks with those wide receivers in the tandem formation, and that's been causing Ohio State problems.
Bren is now 9 of 13. Under pressure this time. An offensive lineman lost his helmet. Watkins was the intended receiver. Bryce Bray, 77, lost his headgear and will have to check out. He's replaced by Dante Bivens.
Watch the
75.
linebackers, Tim, inside. An excellent job of these guys switching, coming 35, said, I'm going to go first, and you come in behind me. And hopefully one guy can get up the back, does an excellent job of picking it up. And that's one of the things that I noticed that what the Golden Hurricane, Anthony Watkins that time, did a fine job of picking up those blitzers and accounting for them.
Tommy Eichenberg is one of the leaders of this defense, says Ryan Day, sophomore from Cleveland, number 35. Watkins totes it inside the 30 to the 28. Gain of 4.
Golden Hurricane possessing the ball and making Ohio State think about it long and hard. And then when they go pace and tempo, they're testing the resolve of this young group. Peppered with some senior leadership in there. For the most part, it's young. You take a look at the defense, Tim, over the last 4 games. It's not impressive.
That's as bad a run as they've ever had since 2012.
Now let's see how they handle this bunch formation up top. Heretofore, they've not handled these situations well.
Brooks in the backfield.
Got the shallow
Blitz
cross.
coming. There it is. Out to Shamari Brooks for a first down. Brin with a really good read that time as he felt the pressure coming on the blitz.
Well, here's the thing about it. Shamari Brooks, number 3, and then Deneverick Prince, number 8. He's probably, is Prince, better than Brooks. But when they get out on the outside, if you can't match up, you're Ohio State, you've got to do a better job of stopping these guys. We just have gotten to the point where we expect to be able to defend a Tulsa if you're Ohio State in open space like this. They tried to drop it coverage with the defensive end. That's not going to work. You got to get match athlete to athlete.
Prince ahead for about 2. Listen, Philip Montgomery coached RG3. I mean, you're talking about an elite head coach when it comes to developing quarterbacks and calling plays. That's why he got the job at Tulsa when he did.
Well, one of the things, you know, he told me he saw is just movement. We saw Oregon do some things that were really cool with those wide splits, and those wide splits created natural voids. And right now, even if you look at this 4-man front that Ohio State has, look at the difference between the gap on the end and the spaces outside.
That curl is there all day. Reeled in by Ezra Naylor. Just dinking and dunking and moving along. We talked to Philip about that. Are you willing to take what is given, those quick crosses, quick curls, and that's what they're doing.
Well, you got 5 guys to block 4 and a late blitz coming on the back end of that. But Tommy Eichenberg got there a little bit too late. That's too much time to give this quarterback. He will take advantage of that. Davis Grant has been outstanding.
3rd down and 4. Brooks the setback. Crawford in motion. They swing it out. And is Juan Carlos Santana. That one was well diagnosed by the Buckeyes. That's Lathan Ransom, number 12. Ransom making the play.
And Ransom almost overran that one, but that's the kind of in-your-pocket, close proximity defense that you expect from Ohio State, particularly down here in the red zone. Inside the 20-yard line, everything happens much faster. So in comes long. This is a well-defended series here for Ohio State.
Well, the graduate senior will try one, this time from 31 yards. Garrrett, the snapper. And he puts it right through. Another effective drive that leads to 3. Buckeyes do get stingy inside the red zone. Jersey Mike's is here in Columbus. Download the Jersey Mike's app, play college football trivia, and be entered to win a VIP experience.
Mike's slice wasn't too bad either. That's pretty good.
Brutus always finds a party. By the way, the hospitality from Gary, you make one of the all-time great sports information directors.
He's unbelievable, man.
He took great care of us last night, and the hospitality was wonderful.
Consummate pro.
So was the whiskey steak, by the way.
He can, yeah.
We enjoyed it.
That Bananas Foster was blazing too. That was
Our
pretty
friends
good.
at Hyde Park took care of us. Here's Egbuka, 2 yards deep.
Uh-oh.
Wonderful return. He's dragged down beyond the 35 at the 36.
That's what you're used to. And listen, special teams always are leading indicators of how the willingness of an overall team. And there's unfortunately some troubling things that I saw earlier. And we don't want to unpack it so much now, Tim, but I think it's going to be an extension of what we've seen. There's a reason why there's one voice for this team. And I think that Ryan Day did a wonderful job of creating that framework so that everyone has to turn attention. It's like that journalism 101. The onus to communicate the messages on the person with the shoulders of the message to be communicated.
Well,
that's the head coach.
Well, remember this about Ryan Day. He is a big-time second-half coach from an offensive standpoint. Beautiful bootleg action, and that pass off the rollout is to Ruckert, the tight end, for a first down. That was a good-looking throw with confidence from the young quarterback.
Right over the head of Ezra Naylor, who plays it actually on the opposite side of that ball. That was Tyron Davis, the left cornerback, who he threw the ball over the top of.
Nice idea to get him rolling out with a pass that can...
Oh, the blue pistol here, getting out under center.
Brings some confidence. Stroud unloads again, incomplete. That pass intended for Garrett Wilson. Garrett's really an outstanding receiver. You see the first half this season versus second. He does pick it up, but so does Ryan Day. I mean, he opens his packages up from an offensive standpoint when the game gets cranking late.
Well, he needs a set of these long second down scenarios, and that'll help them be able to convert it. He's got a pressure look to deal with now. Let's see how the young quarterback handles this.
TreVeyon, Henderson in the backfield. There's the out, and it's caught. That is Wilson again. He's a tremendous athlete. His dad, Kenny Wilson, played in the NBA for a few years and played collegiately at Davidson back in the 80s.
Nice job of getting open and then the double move on the back end. And I love how he broke that off so crisp to get horizontal to the line mark. That's what you need to do.
Met his dad in the lobby of our hotel yesterday. Wonderful guy. Stroud on the run again. Brought in by Smith and Jigba. It was Jackson Smith and Jigba, you might recall, that made the big plays late against Oregon when the Buckeyes were rallying in the late third quarter and fourth quarter a week ago.
Yeah, Tennille Martin, the free safety, was back there trying to defend, but you know, once you get put in your hip pocket, I guarantee you Ohio State's going to win most of those battles because they're just going to get the better athletes, man. And if it's mano-a-mano, you got to like their chances.
Well, they've spread Tulsa out horizontally and vertically on this drive for the very first time.
This has been a great package for them. This is, again, 11 personnel.
Henderson. Out of bounds inside the 10. They'll mark it at the 6. Tyon Davis, the senior from Putnam City, Oklahoma, with a stop.
Another Oklahoma player on this team, and Henderson doing a wonderful job of helping out. Tulsa's going to try to get some smaller, more athletic guys in the game now and defend.
Last 3 plays, Spencer, 13 yards, 18 yards, 12 yards.
Let's see if they go to the slot right here, Tim. That's a matchup I like right now. But he's playing inside eye.
Henderson. And touchdown, Buckeyes.
Well, he had a couple of options, Tim, with the slot. Inside eye, maybe taking that natural slant away from them, but they could have gone either way with an extra down to give. But they're sticking true, trying to establish their identity with the run game. That's Ohio State football right there now.
I think establishing Stroud on the rollout and the bootleg action is what keyed that drive, Spence.
Yeah, it did, but you got to establish the interior run game if you want to make that work, because that's all about influencing those inside guys, the linebackers. If you can do that, it'll work.
That is the second rushing touchdown for the freshman from the state of Virginia. Got a quick burst. Stroud was on target on that drive. 10-6 our score as you look at TreVeyon, the #1 running back recruit in the nation. Let's meet him. He was a wide receiver until he became a running back in his junior season out of Hopewell, Virginia. And listen, there's no denying that he's the future of this program at the running back position. But Spencer, that's just the point. Weren't we saying that about Master T?
Yep.
And, oh, by the way, couldn't we say the same thing about Mayan Williams, who's also been getting a lot of touches?
Mayan Williams has earned his touches, though, Timmy.
Look, I understand that today's young fan is all about 5 stars and 4 stars, but sometimes an embarrassment of riches can make it difficult. The kick is fumbled initially by Jordan Ford. He manages to get out to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. That's where the Golden Hurricane take over.
One time, just put a button on that Henderson take. You know, he's got big, broad shoulders, too. I like his size. Got great cutback ability. I remember when he came out, everyone was really high on his ability to catch the ball. But he is a multi-threat from the running back position. He can do a lot of different things, and that's going to help the competition context in that backfield. Love talking with Mayan Williams yesterday. He says he wears the number 28 because it reminds him of Adrian Peterson at Oklahoma. He's built more like Mark Ingram.
Yep.
But he runs tenaciously like 28 did for the Sooners back in the day. And I'm sure that's what Kevin Wilson, his offensive coordinator, kind of fell in love with.
You know, it's really difficult for head coaches today to massage the egos of these outstanding talents, especially at the skill positions. All set up beautifully with the pressure to get it to Santana, and Juan Carlos has a first down out to the 35-yard line, an 18-yard gain. That was really well played by Davis Brin.
Just ability to diagnose the play, or inability to diagnose. You had 2 Buckeyes in close proximity, which tells you either they were in man coverage and somebody busted assignment and left somebody open. So once again, communication playing a factor.
One thing, rest assured, what they were playing last week defensively, they're not playing this week. It was all man. It's been all zone today. Prince is stopped by Tyreek Smith, number 11 at the point of attack, and a marker is down. And we'll check the flag. Our referee, John O'Neill.
That'll be holding.
That is the first flag of the day.
Yeah, how about
holding.
That? Tulsa holding.
Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith.
The left tackle, man. He's a big kid, about 6'6", 332. And, you get a little handsy in there from time to time, Tim, and then they caught him that time.
First down and 20.
One thing that this Tulsa Hurricane offense has been doing, they've been converting, Tim, 71% of the time on 3rd downs.
Looping it long down the sideline.
Wow.
Incomplete, and Crawford could have had that. He was well defended. Denzel Burke, 29, the freshman out of Scottsdale, Arizona, was with him. But that pass could not have been thrown any better.
And I think also the side of the field that you're on, you've got the sun bearing down, and he may have lost that in the sun. On our side of the near field, you've got some coverage and protection by the stadium, the structure itself. But on that far side,
that's good play.
Nothing but straight daylight over there.
That's an outstanding defensive play by Burke.
Yep.
He got his hand in there, but he made a marvelous play on the ball. 2nd and 20. And Eric Prince, the lone setback.
A little communication going on here. Here's a blitz.
Prince on the crossing pattern, complete. They get some of that yardage back by way of Josh Johnson, the senior from Little Rock.
I'll tell you, that says a lot when the guy that's 5'10", 185 pounds, that has the patience. Number one, great slide protection inside. Man blocking up front, backs helping chip out underneath. Wonderful job of executing there. And I think Denedrick Price, number 8, was the guy that gave the extra protection from his running back position as Philip Montgomery looks on, trying to move the ball down the field. They've been excellent on third down, 71%, Tim. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, 5 of 7 on third down conversion.
You got him.
Incomplete.
Nice.
And again, excellent coverage on Santana by the redshirt freshman Cameron Martinez.
Yeah, he's about 5'10", 192. And again, I love how redshirt freshman, and he's trusted, number one, to play in man coverage, comfortable in that trail technique, and his timing was absolutely perfect. Puts that hand up there right and just identifies the ball and plays it. I mean, that's just beautiful. And I love him. He's wily, man. That left hand back there was actually on that jersey. Out of the field, judge just line a few so you don't see it. That's just a heads-up play. That's balling right there.
If you're a freshman and you know how to do that and not get caught, you're pretty good.
Yeah, if you know where the officials are lined up, though, man, that's a great job on his part.
Wilson. They call for the fair catch. It was run into. Markers come down. You've got to allow the receiver an opportunity to catch the ball. Kenny Solomon, number 5, will be the guilty party, running right into him.
I don't think the transfer junior Solomon was really trying to do that intentionally. No. I know you got to give him space, but I honestly believe that he was not intending to.
Kick catching interference. Kicking team number 5. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Automatic first down. Timeout.
And then
that punt from Wilson was the issue there for Solomon, and he got caught. That guy's excited. Why wouldn't he be? Most of those 72 yards for CJ came in the last drive. Davis Brent's having quite a day. With the exception of the red zone, they've been forced into a pair of field goals. That's been the difference. This is a very important drive, Spencer. I think really for both Ohio State offensively and Tulsa defensively. As you see, Henderson out to the 44-yard line. They got a little bit of mojo going on that last drive when they began rolling out the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, John Michael Terry in hot pursuit there. It shows you some of the speed differential that you're seeing from these Ohio State running backs. And if you're able to run downhill like this is where it gets tough for Tulsa to match them. But it all has to be established by the run game. Now, no huddle, 4 wide concept, actually 3 wide. Going to a pistol formation.
Garrett Wilson down at the bottom.
Moving on the right side.
Yep, false start. That's Stover, 16.
Offense number 16. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
You know, he had a coughed up a sure catch, man, a while back, and just watching those mistakes, those are mental errors right there. You got to be able to correct those. Had a chance to keep the chains moving last week and dropped one in the red zone.
Spencer, I thought that was the problem today with Nebraska. The only thing that cost them at Oklahoma today were a few of those kinds of penalties and mishaps, special teams issues, in a game that Oklahoma struggled to win at home against the Big Red of the Big Ten. Coming back for it is Wilson. Trying to strip him of it at the 46-yard line before being pushed back. He's very close to the first down. I think he might be just a little shy. Davis and Terry collaborating.
Love the execution on that play. Wilson became eligible at the last minute when he stepped on the line of scrimmage. And obviously you got to have 7 up there, but 1 steps back, and that tells you what kind of communication is taking place. It's getting better on the offensive side of the ball. But, of course, that's not where the problem has been. It's been more so on the defensive side.
Forward progress did net a first down. Henderson.
Nice job.
Cuts it back and gets beyond midfield to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, DeJuan Jones, number 79, that right tackle with the down block that created that little crease backside. And, you know, really a good back is able to just sift through that. And Henderson just kind of instinctively found his way back to that voided area. Wonderful job of collaboration. Coach Day is looking for daylight here. It's some tough football right here now. Tight. Oh, play action.
Stroud.
Got him.
Into traffic. It's high and it's picked. Intercepted. TreVeyon Fuller at the 25. And once again, the pass is too high.
Well, a lot of blue, white shirts over their blue pants, man. You got to be able to discern that you zero in on your coverage and you miss the safety over the top. And Fuller was there waiting for him. 9-11, 2-11 in progress.
Fuller, the A&M transfer. The significance of the golf hat. Looks like a little Chichi Rodriguez action on the sideline there as they got the pick. Graduate transfer gives Tulsa the ball, and there's trouble. Ohio State's Cody Simon comes right in there about a yard or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at this again, Spencer. And again,
well, it's a great athletic catch. I mean, that's the bottom line. It comes down to it, a guy that's able to go in high point. Look at all the eyes. There are 3 white jerseys around it. He's the highest to the point is Fuller. And then the concentration to stay with the ball all the way down to the ground. That's really excellent concentration and athleticism merging together to make an outstanding play.
Well, the one concerning thing you got to believe for Philip Montgomery is that he's not been able to get much done on the ground so far. Prince is in the backfield. They go with a quick out. And that time, that one was thrown at the feet of Sam Crawford, so 3rd down and 12 coming up. Snap was also a problem with Jared Wheeler.
Nice little bantering going on between the 2 cover men, and that ball was thrown low and inside. And if you're going to throw it low, you need to throw it on the outside instead of the inside. Press coverage right here. Let's see if Ohio State stays in this coverage or if they back off. Watch number 9. If he cuts down his splits off the numbers, they're down and backing up. That's good.
Bryn right at the marker, but coming back for it is Crawford. Is that intercepted by Burke? 29, Denzel Burke comes away with a pilfer.
Burke was reading it, and that's exactly where he wanted to go. That's exactly where Brent wanted to go, Tim. It's an outstanding job of diagnosing that play. I thought he was going to cut down his splits to give him a 2-way go, and that was just poor communication by the wide receiver.
This was a late call. Let's see if he actually made the catch. It belongs to the receiver. He got it on the way over. All right, I think that's a pick. He simply took it away from the receiver when he was making the football move.
Well, his body was between the ball and the turf, that's for sure.
And I don't know that control was ever ceded to the receiver, Crawford, when he came away from it.
Well, I don't think control is an issue when the ball never hits the ground.
Yep. They're going to take a look at it. You can bet on that. First career interception for now for Burke.
Burke drives on this ball, and that ball that's an interception.
Yeah, has to be.
Never touches the ground.
No.
Now, if he would have possessed the ball and his knee was down, then it would have been ruled incomplete.
Yeah.
But that was not the case. He never had control of it.
You know, in real time, it looked like a catch shy of the first down. But when you see
demonstrate control.
No, he did not demonstrate control with a football move. And Burke just was ready for a loose ball opportunity as he made the tackle.
Philip Montgomery knows that that's the kind of mistakes they can't make against his team with this tradition, 100,000 strong.
Our referee is John O'Neill. Thomas Kissinger is our replay official. Mike Pereira, help us out here.
Hi, guys. Well, the only question here is, you pointed out, the ball did not hit the ground. So does he have control of the ball? Will the receiver have control of the ball with a knee on the ground, which then could make the play over? So it's just a question of catching down. So does he have control here, knee down, and then does the ball get stripped away? That's the question that Kissinger has to answer with John O'Neill looking on.
Yeah, I really believe Denzel Burke took that ball literally away before a football play with possession could be made.
Well, in slow motion, it looked like he possibly could have had possession, but in real time,
no.
I don't think he ever established his possession. And again, to Mike's point, he saw it the way I saw it. If you possess the ball, you have control, and the knee was down, it would have been ruled an incomplete pass, right?
Yeah.
If it came out.
If we could just have everything in real time, it would make it a lot easier. But when everything goes down to slow motion like this.
You know, Ryan Day's reaction is telling me they're going to rule this a catch, Mike. He has gotten word they're going to rule this a catch. They're going to overturn this call. And I agree with Ryan here. I do.
Yeah, again, this is just, I mean, we have to wait to get to the announcement here. But again, if
after further review, the ball was caught by Tulsa. It'll be 4th and 2 at the 33-yard line. The clock will start on the ready for play.
Mike, I realize that possession and understanding what really is a catch is debatable both at this level as well as the NFL. But again, this is slow motion. All right, I don't think he's got it there, and Burke gets it here. How can that be possession of the football?
But you know, Tim,
I just don't get it.
Here's what I would say, just what you said. I don't think he had possession of the ball. Remember, you know, it's a tough, close play, but to me, if you have control and the knee is down, then basically the play's over.
Yeah, bang, bang. 4th and 2, they're going to punt it away. That's a huge call this late in the half.
And that's a huge kick, too.
It is. Wilson getting it away, and Garrett Wilson with the fair catch. That was a 63-yard boot. You talk about a field position shift from that call to where they take over.
You kind of hope those plays go your way at home, man. But the reaction obviously speaks volumes. And Coach Ryan says, look, hey, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
Well, it's been a long week for the New Hampshire grad. He didn't need this to compound what he's been through the last 6 days.
And
how can that be? I thought the young man made a hell of a play, and it was reversed. But again, it all comes back down to the jurisdiction of the replay official and what constitutes possession. On 1st down, Teague. Well, he's gotten a few more, and he's showing with those legs still churning that he wants a few more carries, right?
That's what you got to do. You lay claim to it. Do what you do best to help your ball club out. You're struggling on the defensive side in particular.
It's a gain of 8. And he's got an outstanding freshman taking a few touches away, and he's responding to it.
I love this running back room. This running back room is special. Milan Williams, number 28. Master Teague in there as well.
Really haven't heard from him yet today.
Nice vision.
There goes Master Teague. He's out to the 46. Jace Oliver, 25. With the stop, that's 17 yards.
And Teague has got some size on him now. He's about 225, 227. Watch his instinctive run. Inside zone. Nice job of manning up on the outside and then coming in there and just sifting through and avoiding all of the trash underneath for a significant gain. Nice vision.
Teague again to midfield.
That's a win. When you get 5 yards on 1st down, you stay ahead of the chains. That's what Ohio State wants to do. That's what they tried to establish early in the contest. Never could get it going. Stayed behind the chains, and as a result, gave the ball back to Tulsa, who really had longer drives and sustained them. Kept the ball away.
Call it 4. 2nd and 6. Teague on the receiving end. That should be another 1st down. TreVeyon Fuller, number 2, takes him out of bounds, a gain of 7.
Well, TreVeyon came at a really interesting angle. You know, when you're dealing with a guy, you're giving up 15 to 20 pounds. You want to put your head across the body. You don't want to hit him on the back leg. You want to make sure that he doesn't get any additional yardage moving forward.
Stroud trying to come back after throwing the interception on the last series. On the break, and that's a good one by Wilson. He almost slipped and fell. Managed to get up, make the catch in front of Tyon Davis. 13 yards and another Buckeyes 1st down.
Well, see, this is the left field corner here with soft coverage. Watch him trip coming out of his break, a back pedal and turn and hips and close. Almost falls down out of that break, but that's a tough, long, open field throw across the field. Great pitch and catch.
Teague. It's popped after a gain of a couple.
Kevin Wilson with a nice mix on this series here of throwing and running the football heavier on the run. This is in line with what we expect from Ohio State. This is the formula.
What a career Kevin has had, huh? Through the years, both at Oklahoma, had that stint at Indiana, and then returned to Ohio State, the offensive coordinator here with the Buckeyes for Ryan Day, who's one of the really great play callers of his generation of game callers as well. Teague on the stretch play, runs out of real estate at the 28. Tyon Davis ushers him out, no gain.
Yeah, Joseph Anderson, wonderful job. The nose tackle, man, got in there, number 44, and got disruptive in the back end. And that shows you that this aggressive stop unit of Tulsa up front is just 3 men strong, along with Cullen Wick, number 91, and Tyree Stevenson, 97. Jackson Player.
Big down here, Spencer, for Tulsa
down.
defensively. Well, Teague has 40 yards on this drive, 33 rushing, 7 receiving. And he's still back there with Stroud in the shotgun.
28% on 3rd down has Ohio State been. They need to improve.
Stroud, not a threat to run normally, tries to stay alive, lets it fly, and it's caught. Goal. That ball is dropped. It was right in the hands of Olave, and the usually sure-handed All-America dropped it.
And that's unfortunate, too, because you're looking for those extended plays that keep drives alive, and you finally got one from C.J. Stroud, who avoids not 1 but 2. Understands where he is on the football field, throws across his body. Wonderful job of getting it and placing it. You can't throw it any more accurate than that.
Well, that necessitates Noah Ruggles trying this field goal. The youngster transferred from North Carolina with a couple of years of eligibility. This will be 44 yards. Mirko to hold. Now that's a win, really, for Tulsa defensively, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Before the break.
In this game.
Timeout. Buckeyes by a touchdown.
When Subway opened, they changed the fast food game. But sometimes you gotta refresh to be fresh. Welcome to the Eat Fresh Refresh, where there's so much new, some say it can't fit in one ad. I say, we're talking a new All-American Club, deli-style oven-roasted turkey, and...
Oh, that's a new steak and cheese.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. That's the one with the new seasoning.
And that was the new MVP Parmesan vinaigrette.
Right, which makes a next-level foot... Hold up, the Subway logo? Wait, I'm out of time.
Okay.
13-6 our score. Chris Olave, you see along the sidelines, a rare drop for him. He's an unbelievable talent. Well, hey, it's a Saturday in Columbus, man. In September, and you're able to wear tank tops? Not bad.
Yeah, we obviously are here and we're in Norman, Oklahoma. This feels a lot like that Nebraska-Oklahoma game.
It does. Anthony Watkins, it called for a fair catch, and they'll bring it out. Kenny Solomon with the fair catch. What's coming up on the State Farm halftime show, Mike Hill?
Hey, coming up on the State Farm halftime, Oklahoma and Nebraska battle in the 50th anniversary of the game of the century, while Jim Harbaugh and Michigan put up 63 points, plus A&M showing no ill effects without their starting quarterback today. We got it all for you at the half. Right now, Tim and Spencer, back to you.
Thank you, Mike.
The quarterback whisperer, Jimbo Fisher, finding a way to make it happen.
That was a struggle at Colorado.
Yep,
managed to get out of there with a W. And A&M trying to establish themselves. As you look at Philip Montgomery's got to feel pretty good. Only down a touchdown at this stage. And remember, they deferred on the coin toss. Will get the ball to open the second half. Here's Bryn playing pitch and catch with Sam Crawford. A healthy gain. So were they to get down here, Spencer, and maybe have a chance at a field goal, they would inch just a little bit closer before the break.
If they can get 5+ on first down, which has kind of been their formula today, and it's really their ID, what they're all about in this 4-wide concept with a close look now. In other words, they're 4 wide receivers, but they're in a close package. Underneath, crossing routes. There you go.
It's wide open, right in the middle to Josh Johnson, and they are in great shape now. They've got it at the 37. That is a 31-yard reception.
Here's Josh on that inside. This is what that Twins package will do. You just continue to falter and filter against a zone defense until you come open behind the coverage over the top of him. Wonderful job of working over the Mike linebacker, Cody Simon.
So at the 39-yard line, Tulsa's got all their timeouts. Ohio State is going to be pressed into taking one of theirs to get their defense set up. And they'll take this timeout with them. 24 ticks remaining in the opening half.
Subway has so much new it didn't fit in their last ad, like the new steak and cheese. They start with new freshly baked artisan Italian bread, and then they pile on new thicker cut tender marinated steak and top it off with melted cheese. Well, guess they need another ad. The Eat Fresh refresh at Subway. There's too much new to fit in one commercial.
I'm Jacob Emrani. Subway has so much new, it didn't fit in their last ad, so they bought time in mind. Their new artisan Italian bread is the best. Just ask my satisfied client.
Jacob got me the footlong I deserve.
Call Jacob.
Spencer, we touched on the last 3 games for this defense going back to the end of last year, the start of this year. Oregon with 612. Minnesota got 495. Alabama in the title game, 621 yards as Bryn looks long.
Wow.
That's Crawford. Juan Carlos Santana, I beg your pardon, the intended receiver. And, boy, he was there. Bryson Shaw was beaten on that play.
Yeah, Lathan Ramsey, the safety, was the guy in that position.
Holding.
We thought it might have been Bryson Shaw.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That'll back him up. Tyler Smith, the guilty party. That stretch for Ohio State, that 3-game stretch we were talking about, the yards given up, is the worst that they've incurred since the end of 2013 when they beat Michigan 42-41, then lost their last 2 games to Michigan State and Clemson.
So you can see the hands getting around Smith on the outside, just holding and grabbing there. When you got a guy that's that athletic like Tyreek Smith, the defensive end, man, sometimes when you're on an island, you do anything you can to protect your quarterback.
1st and 20, 18 seconds left. Seam route. That one could have been picked. A mix-up between the receivers and Davis Bryn.
And no need to rush that ball. And there was a vertical route upfield, and all Bryn had to do was just wait on it. You can see the motion and the open space on the vertical route. They had to switch. If you just turn that into a skinny post route, that's a quarterback error right there. You had the guy on the post over the top of that, wide open. Just stay with it a little bit longer. Better communication between the quarterback and receiver.
Golden Hurricane, as we mentioned, with all 3 of their timeouts left. They need quite a bit now if they want to get in field goal range. Bryn once again on the long cross. It is intercepted. That's Hickman. Ronnie Hickman with the pick.
Well, give credit where credit is due. Ronnie Hickman was doing his job and in the place where he needed to be. This is just a mistake here. You got to continue to come on for this ball. If you're Josh Johnson, man, you got to make this play. Hit him dead in the hands, right on the shoulder pads, right into the basket.
Hey, Spencer, that ball was tipped by Martinez.
It may have been, Tim, but again, the concentration here's got to be enough that you're able to catch that on the carom. You got to be able to haul that one in. I mean, these guys are used to tip passes all the time in practice, in game time situations as well.
Just wasn't sure if you'd seen it.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it was tipped.
18 yards on the return.
But watch it. See, he turns his head away from it. It surprised him, no question. But you got to be able to make that play.
Well, we've come to the break at intermission here at the Horseshoe. 13-6, a huge halftime coming up. Chris and Emmanuel, along with the Sarge, have got it for you. A lot going on in college football today, and even more tonight. They're going to have it for you right here. There have been moments in this game where Ohio State's outmanning of Tulsa has been noticeable. However, the Golden Hurricane have stood firm and been able to move the ball very well between the 20s against this patchwork, overhauled Ohio State defense. What are the snapshots that jump out at you?
It was really the theme that Philip Montgomery, the head coach and offensive mind behind this vaunted attack for Tulsa, put up 217 yards, most of it through the air. Remember the line that he said to us? He said, ignore the emblem. For the most part, that's what they've done. They've ignored the emblem and managed to go toe-to-toe with Ohio State. And I think the takeaway here is what we see in the second half adjustments in Ohio State is known for their ability to adjust in the second half. This is who they are. What we see this second half is where Ohio State is. And so if you're fans, if you're coaches, whoever, that the one voice message has been directed to, this is what you're going to be left with in the second half.
All right, let's take a look at the Domino's first half stats, and you'll see how even this game has been. In fact, Tulsa is winning by a vast margin in terms of their overall offense. The passing yards all with them, but Ohio State's getting it done on the ground, and Henderson's had a lot to do with that. Master Teague, key to drive as well for the Buckeyes. Stroud has made his mistakes high, as we've seen, but when he rolled him out, when Ryan Day decided to roll him out, Spencer, get him out of the pocket, he seemed to be much more comfortable and on target.
And I think part of that can be attributed to the running game. You know, what Master Teague did, he stepped up big time, and Henderson found some lanes back and forth. So when you get success in the interior of a defense, then you've got to respond to that. So when those linebackers start navigating and migrating to that area,
there have been moments in this game where Ohio State's outmanning of Tulsa has been noticeable. However, the Golden Hurricane have stood firm and been able to move the ball very well between the 20s against this patchwork, overhauled Ohio State defense. What are the snapshots that jump out at you?
It was really the theme that Philip Montgomery, the head coach and offensive mind behind this vaunted attack for Tulsa, put up 217 yards, most of it through the air. Remember the line that he said to us? He said, ignore the emblem. For the most part, that's what they've done. They've ignored the emblem and managed to go toe-to-toe with Ohio State. And I think the takeaway here is what we see in the second half adjustments in Ohio State is known for their ability to adjust in the second half. This is who they are. What we see this second half is where Ohio State is. And so if you're fans, if you're coaches, whoever, that the one voice message has been directed to, this is what you're going to be left with in the second half.
All right, let's take a look at the Domino's first half stats, and you'll see how even this game has been. In fact, Tulsa is winning by a vast margin in terms of their overall offense. The passing yards all with them, but Ohio State's getting it done on the ground, and Henderson's had a lot to do with that. Master Teague, key to drive as well for the Buckeyes. Stroud has made his mistakes high, as we've seen, but when he rolled him out, when Ryan Day decided to roll him out, Spencer, get him out of the pocket, he seemed to be much more comfortable and on target.
And I think part of that can be attributed to the running game. You know, what Master Teague did, he stepped up big time, and Henderson found some lanes back and forth. So when you get success in the interior of a defense, then you've got to respond to that. So when those linebackers start navigating and migrating to that area, then some of that stuff on the perimeter starts to open up a little bit, and that's where they had their success, what little they had through the air. But I'm really impressed with what Tulsa has done in this first half.
And especially without Keelan Stokes. You know, he's really their most athletic and probably the receiver that would be the first option were he available today. He's not. Might remember his brother, Kevin Lucas, a few years ago, was also an acrobatic receiver. Anthony Watkins with the return. He'll be shy of the 20 at the 19. Very important opening drive here for Davis Brin.
It really is. They've got to make their mark, Tim. And again, just to carry this theme out, to let you know, we're not trying to set this up. We're saying what we're seeing as analysts. Tulsa with 5.6 yards per play. Ohio State, 5.5 yards per play. All this stuff is even. Number of plays, 39 for Tulsa, 37 plays for Ohio State. This is as close as you can get. If you cover the emblems up, you would think these teams out of the whole were matched up for one another. And Ohio State, obviously, with the rich tradition, should be much further along.
The one thing that the Golden Hurricane have not been able to do with any consistency is run the football. Neither Prince or Brooks.
Well, they're coming with their 11 personnel, and being able to throw out of this is going to be key for them.
Johnson was the intended receiver, and again, he may have rushed that just a bit. Davis Brin, 2nd and 10 coming up.
He's got to take his time again. Brin does, because Philip Montgomery likes to do some mirroring, and when we talk about how important that is, if you can come out in 11 personnel and run and throw in it, it really gets tough to diagnose what's going on for Kerry Coombs, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State.
And a reminder, Kerry Combs is upstairs, the defensive coordinator. He's been moved. Calling the defenses, it appears to be Matthew Barnes, the secondary coach. That pass goes incomplete. Also, Paul Rhodes, former head coach at Iowa State, now an analyst. He's on the sideline in a position to be of help, and someone that worked for Chip Kelly defensively at UCLA. And, of course, Ryan Day, that's Matthew Barnes right there. You can see he is working it, getting the defensive calls out to his team from the sidelines. He's never been a coordinator. The title hasn't changed, but the responsibilities clearly have.
Really good communication taking place right now by Tulsa. Dante Bevins and company identifying what they see. Going to block out.
3rd and 10, pressure up the middle. Brin's got to let it go, and he does. It is caught, but shy of the first down. Juan Carlos Santana comes up to make the grab, but well shy.
Yeah, they're going to be a couple of yards short. It's going to be 4th down. So Philip Montgomery's looking for opportunities here. He knows that there was a chance to make that play happen. It comes down, as it always does, is to execution. Are you seeing the same thing that I'm seeing? Run the play, execute. Let's live to advance the chains.
Well, Lackland Wilson booted a 63-yarder in the first half.
Let's see if Ohio State can get something going in the return game. They got plenty of yards to work with.
This one a low trajectory to Wilson, and a fair catch at the 27. Now the Golden Hurricane were hit on 5 out of 6 on 3rd down conversions to open this game. They're 0 for 4 since. So the Buckeyes defense getting a little better. There you see the freshman quarterback C.J. Stroud is normally outstanding second halves. We will find out. You know, he's been remarkable in the second half this season after struggling to open. And Olave, you know, normally that would be your go-to guy. He's had some uncharacteristic drops in the game today so far.
I still expect him to stay within the realm of what they're trying to accomplish in their ID, Tim. They just need to be cleaner.
No catches for number 2. That's breaking news in Columbus. Again, bootleg action. Incomplete, intended for Garrett Wilson. That was a long throw to make on the run to the wide side of the field.
Long throw, but a safe throw, because you've got the boundary to contend with, and you don't have defenders on either side. You see motion, getting him to throw on the run, which helps the accuracy. Believe it or not, when you can get a quarterback's momentum going in one direction, that ball gets, the spiral gets tighter.
Again, he had troubles out of the break, Spencer, on this field turf.
Yeah.
It's happened to Wilson a couple of times. Henderson almost broken. That shoestring tackle was a saving one by Johansi Burnett, 35, the senior from Pearland, Texas, Dawson High School.
Well, that was some legs flying around there, boy, to stop a play, man. Watch this here. Watch Powers comes underneath. Big 78. Nicholas Petiti Ferrer did a wonderful job of avoiding him, stopping him.
Petit Ferrer, you might recall, had that big fumble recovery that helped Ohio State keep a drive alive in the first half of the game. 3rd down 6. Stroud over the middle to a wide open receiver and a first down. That's Scott, the tight end, with the reception.
Well, this is pretty easy. Flat hook, just an easy release right up the hash marks and find that void and settle right down. Don't need to cover yourself. If you continue on in your route, that deep linebacker is going to cover you on the other side. That's just a great job of diagnosing the coverage.
With some field position, they begin to feed and fan the run game. That's Henderson.
What these Tulsa defenders, those middle defenders, Johannes Burnett and company, number 35, really do a wonderful job along with Justin Wright at the Mike position of filling and reacting.
They have not beaten a Power 5 team in their last 13 tries, but they've been close. They've had their moments. They're down by 7 in the early stages of the third. Henderson now 16 carries for 78 yards.
They should be able to run against this front.
On 2nd and 6. There he goes. Right on cue. TreVeyon. Touchdown.
Tim, we talk about the 3-3-5, and one of the problems with it, they just only had 2 down linemen and a stand-up end. When those numbers are depleted up front, you got an advantage. On that right side, you can see it's just a straight give, and it's off to the races. When you hit your head on the goalpost with nice, unbelievable move on the back end of that, Kadarian Ray, the safety, got juked. Wonderful job of finishing.
He's smooth. You know, I'm going to make a comparison that's really, really old school here, Spencer. He's got a little Dwayne Thomas.
He's old school. You look Cowboy.
Remember Dwayne?
Yeah.
Former Cowboy in the early 70s with Roger the Dodger. He's smooth. He's a natural. He's error-free. He's TreVeyon. And he's got a touchdown. Didn't take long. TreVeyon on his own had 3 carries, 56 yards on that drive. 48 of it on one play.
We talked about at the halftime, Timmy, that it's about adjustments, and this is where Ohio State excels. Those coaches make what they make because they're really good at responding to what happens to them, and it shows up in the second half.
No question. Ryan Day is as good at those adjustments as anyone in the business. Let's go back to it, Spencer. And once again, you called it. You saw the running play coming.
Yeah, it's about names and numbers, right? Tulsa's got 1, 2, 3 right here. That's not enough to block the 1, 2, 3, 4 that Ohio State has, and that man advantage is enough to give you an advantage. If you got a runner that's got this skill set right here, he runs through you, man, big time, and then one individual move, reach one, and allow him to score. Put the onus on his back, and that's exactly what he did. He delivered big time. And love TreVeyon Henderson is an athlete, man. Strong, physical, got nice move. He's a slasher. Love it.
You made a comparison that was a little during the break that was a little more up to date than Dwayne.
I like yours though. Arian Foster. That's who he reminds me of.
Effortless. And a strider, as you said. That's Sam Crawford on the receiving end. He's ahead for 9. It'll be 2nd down and a yard to go. And he's holding his right knee. They're already down Keelan Stokes, and now Crawford, who's really their second option.
And so now 2/3 of that trio that rush, or rather recede for 300 yards combined, 2 of them are down now. So 2/3 of their production in the throw game is erased. And so now, if you're playing chess right now, then you start bringing pressure. You start to affect the quarterback, and this is what Kerry Coombs has. Here's the route. It's against press coverage, couple of extra moves, and just kind of turns the field. It's kind of hard to see where it actually happened, Tim. But so he's turning and pivoting, putting that shoulder down, doing a nice job of getting extra yardage. Yeah, there it is. So the inside of his ankle got turned potentially, where he rolled it outside.
Hopefully it looked worse than it really is. He was clutching his knee, but it did appear to be the ankle.
Yeah, it didn't look like a high ankle sprain. He should be able to come back.
Brooks in the backfield on 2nd and 1, and that penetration, Ohio State almost there when he got the handoff. That's Cage, 86.
Yeah, Jerron Cage, man, he's big time. He'll play that nose tackle position along with Haskell Garrett, number 92, and they play it. It's kind of a 2-gap technique, right, where they put him over there, and he's playing an eye. Good job of identifying him and just getting in there in the backfield. And he's playing what we call an off technique. In other words, he's going to line up on one side and then go totally against the protocol for the position and then charge from another position. That can be very confusing for an offensive lineman.
3rd down and 3.
This is pressure all the way here.
Quick out taken by Johnson. Wow. Josh Johnson gets away. Slipped to tackle. And has some yards after catch, almost to midfield, a 1st down.
Well, Cameron Martinez was back there. We thought he had him dead to rights, but man, Johnson showed you some athleticism, and Bryn got it to him, and allowed him to make some plays. And so this is one of the things you got to take your hat off for Tulsa, being able to go toe-to-toe and show you some athleticism that you would typically identify with Ohio State. Nice job. Secure that ball, a double move. Martinez reaches out. I mean, he just whiffed on that one.
That ended an 0 for 4 third down drop for Brin. Comebacker, incomplete. Excellent move on the ball by Cam Brown, covering Juan Carlos Santana. He closed quickly.
Well, here's the move here, Tim. He turns and gets upfield. A nice little move inside. Woo, double move.
It's a little toe tapper.
And I love how his body language, everything was oriented to the inside of the field, but he ends up going the opposite direction. That's outstanding as the Tulsa Hurricane is down.
Yeah, that's Tyler Smith, the left tackle.
Yep.
Redshirt sophomore from Fort Worth, North Crowley High School. Phillips got to be getting tired of seeing this. You know, you play these games when you're a group of 5 and you want to be healthy by the time you get to the meat of your schedule into the American Conference. That's a grind.
You know, this team played for championship last year in their conference, and it's the last thing they need right now.
We'll take a break and be right back.
Hey, Timmy, the Emmys are tomorrow. Take a picture of this, and I don't know, it just looked like he's a great act.
56, Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith, big Tyler Smith says, hey, man, I'm a little winded.
So we see that a lot with defenses against hurry-up offenses. I get that. So you just wanted a quick blow? Is that the deal?
You hit strategy, man. It's all about chess match. You got to get a win if you can.
Second down and 10. Shamari Brooks is in the backfield. Dante Bivens has come in for Smith.
That backer's got a buzz to the deep third.
Pressure at the gut. Almost a pick, too. That ball stayed in the air for quite a while. Cam Brown had a beat on it. And JTT, they call him affectionately, was putting on the pressure, number 44. That's Tui Mo. There he is. That's why they call him JTT, by the way.
Well, they did a wonderful job of tying in their coverage with their rush on that play.
Tui Mo making the play for Ohio State.
That was going to be offensive pass interference, a push off.
Yeah, marker down as Santana made the grab, but you're going to say he pushed off to get free.
Yeah, he sure did. And again, Juan Carlos Santana, Z position pushed off, and it happened at the end or the tail end of his route just to create separation. The twins package can cause you problems, Tim, but again, you can see the nice move. Ooh. Wow, that was a little collision on the defense side, but it recovered. But wow.
Let's see. I don't know that. We'll see, Spencer.
They take a look at that. That's interesting because they've impeded his ability to complete his route.
At first glance, I was with you. I thought he may have pushed off. That looked like a pretty good stick.
I mean, it was sudden, the separation. That's what caught my attention, and I'm trying to look at the whole field.
This may go the other way.
Yeah, play, one by each team.
Okay.
Pass interference. Defense, number 26.
Yeah.
That ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 77. That 15-yard penalty would be enforced. That is number 77's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Well, here's the interference, and upon further review, as we like to say, I think they did get it right, and we were thinking that was a push-off when, in fact, it was a pretty good stick.
Yeah, he had a nice shake route, what we call a shake route, that double move, and Cameron Brown, the field corner, just kind of stood him up and got in his face, and so that was an accurate call, to be sure.
But then Bryce Bray gets tagged with unsportsmanlike, 77 on the offensive front. More penalty yards on that play than we had in the entire game against both teams. First and 10 at midfield. Brin looking downfield on the sideline, and it is incomplete. Santana had a chance coming back for it, but again, Cam Brown with outstanding coverage for the Buckeyes.
Coach Montgomery feels like he can go over there and take some shots against Cameron Brown, that field corner, who was just involved in that last collision. Both defender and receiver trying to eye that ball and show concentration. Again, that's just a great pass defense. And Santana just a little bit short on that. Juan Carlos Santana.
Spencer, I can't remember until this now 2-touchdown lead any point in time where we've seen any man coverage from Ohio State. Can you?
Well, they're in a two-deep shell right now. Two deep safeties. So it's a quasi-man, and they're going to roll too deep. Safe protection.
Brand in trouble and down. This may bring a flag out.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm surprised
see.
they did. There it is.
Yeah, I don't think he got the ball to the line of scrimmage.
Nope.
Antoine Jackson, 52, provided the heat, the graduate senior.
They could have gone either way, Tim. They could have either called him down.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Offense, number 7. Loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Well, you got to get the ball when pressured to the line of scrimmage, and he did not.
Yeah, he's down. I think he's down.
3rd down.
So here's where Tulsa has been impressive on 3rd down. Nearly 71% in the first half. Let's see how they navigate now. A chance for an inflection point, Timmy. Here it is. Let's see what Ohio State has to score.
Out of the gun, 5 out. Plenty of time for Bryn. Now he's out of it. He manages 5 yards to the 45. And Jean-Baptiste, number 8, collaborating with JTT on that one, and he's slow to get up. Well, they need to keep him healthy. Remember, no Zach Harrison today.
Give credit where credit is due,
problem.
Tim. Watch this roll right here. See, this guy's going to drop way back in the middle of the field to create almost a 3-cross look. The deep corners, so you essentially have got a center fielder, but they built that. They didn't start off showing them that. It was a 2-man look, and what that meant was if there was a single safety there, that extra defender is around the line of scrimmage. That's how you can get more hats on the quarterback. Great design. That puts a lot of stress, though, on that position. That's the reason why if it's drops, Proctor, whoever will be in there needs to be consistent.
Wilson will punt it away. End over end. Garrett Wilson with a fair catch at the 10. 46-yard boot. Buckeyes will have it. And now with a comfortable 2-touchdown lead against the Golden Hurricane. When you've been around the game a long time, Spencer, coaches will always point to this when it doesn't go well. We simply couldn't run the ball effectively.
Yep.
That stat tells it all. That's the difference, really, in this game.
It really does. And it was the stat that showed up when Oregon beat Ohio State on this very field.
TreVeyon Henderson, the lone setback. He's had quite a day, the most efficient of all the backs for the Buckeyes. Although Master Teague did have one excellent drive when he was in the game. He forges ahead to the 18, so a gain of 7.
Yeah, it was that 48-yard touchdown run by Henderson that really defined it. And as you said, Tim, that's in keeping with what Ohio State sees itself as. And Tulsa had no answer for that. Great job with second-half adjustment.
133 yards rushing today. That ball's on the ground, and it's picked up by Dwan Jones, 79, the junior.
That's a big
As
right
Henderson,
tackle. 6'6", 330 pounds, man.
Henderson's knee. Henderson's knee. He's down on the ground.
Wow.
They're checking it. This is not good. Not good right there.
Ouch.
So that's the concern now. He hopped up, though. It looks like he's going to be okay. That is, you could hear a pin drop for a moment as Jones got the recovery. Everyone's attention turned to that phenom. And it looked really bad right here, Spencer. Almost a hyperextension.
Yeah, it was a hyperextended.
You see 99, that's Everett Rogers, all 303 pounds out of Killeen, Texas, falling on top of that knee.
Yeah, your knee is not designed to go backwards that way.
3rd down and 2. Teague is checked in for him. There he goes. Pretty good leverage, and I think it's enough for him to get the first down. Cullen Wick, 91. Had his arms around him.
Ohio State came out in a 4-wide set, try to spread them out a little bit, got the yardage that they needed. Now they're going with the bunch formation to the field. I think they're going to run this. It's like, well, wait a minute, quick screen.
Goes out to Fleming. Julian Fleming with his first touch of the afternoon.
I like the call. It's really an extension of their run game. High percentage passes. We've seen some of the downfield stuff be a little bit errant, problematic when you're in a close contest like this.
Well, we got another Tulsa player down. That looks to be Grant Sawyer, number 19.
Sawyer, they can't afford to lose him. He usually plays that star position. Sawyer plays the star position, which in this scheme really is the equivalent of the more athletic guy, the hybrid that you need to cover, play run defense. They'll move him around a lot.
Well, for those of you just joining us, we should point out that this game has been very close until really the touchdown, the big run by Henderson to give them the 2-score lead. We'll see where this injury takes place. Looks like he got whipped by the leg on his way down. Grant Sawyer, 19. Might have been kicked in the hand as well. But the point that I wanted to make, Spencer, is that the tension all week long building up to this game, I really felt it through much of the first half. I thought it affected Stroud to some extent. And ultimately, though, just getting settled into playing your power game, understanding your ability to run the football well, has put the Buckeyes in a position now to take control the rest of the way.
And they may take control, Tim, but I still don't think the issues that they face, they're going to be long play fixes. It's not something that's going to be fixed overnight.
Teague remains the setback. He's got the first down out to the 34.
Love the way he runs inside. So physical and stealing downs. And, you know, they're going pace and tempo here a little bit, trying to get some points and quail some of that disdain from this crowd and national perception. 4-wide concept. Got movement. Surprised there wasn't a flag there.
Pressure coming, and down goes Teague. That's Cullen Wick, 91. He got him high and brought him down.
Well, Cullen Wick is really good. You know, last week it was Anthony Goodlow, number 94, that was working at that defensive end position. But either one of them, man, are profound in certain situations. They play on an island upfield. You can see him working underneath. The back tries to get in there, but there's a weight differential that he's not going to win.
2nd and 17. Olave gives motion. Does not have a catch today.
Yep.
Well, he dropped the ball and just has to unload it in the general direction of Marvin Harrison Jr., number 18. It'll be 3rd and 17.
Now, when you drop the ball, you're a young quarterback like C.J. Stroud is, your eyes are not going to be downfield, and he doesn't look like he was ready for this one. You see his eyes were looking to the right side. That ball is coming. And that's unfortunate, too, because he's the one that's snapping the count. And there's a period of time once you hear that clap and the ball is going to be snapped, and that's just instinctive. It's a mistake on the quarterback's part.
Just 19 years old, C.J. Stroud. Hands it to Teague, and he's ahead to the 32. Crowd did not like that play call.
Yeah, Tyreek Carlisle, the left cornerback, came up and made a nice play.
You know, this is a very interesting crowd, the Buckeye crowd. It's our first visit here. I'd heard a little about it, and through my years, Spencer, of coming to visit, this is a big town. It's a much bigger city than most college towns. Yeah. And I think they have sort of a pro mentality.
An expectation. You know,
because of Cincinnati and Cleveland being in close proximity. And I think the pressures that players here go through are a little different than in other college campuses, even in the Big Ten.
There's a certain kind of regalness to them as well. They remind me of those 49er crowds that we used to have. A lot more sophisticated than people probably necessarily would think.
Mirko will boot it away with Camden Benjamin deep. Takes a bit of a Tulsa roll. Now a Buckeye roll inside the 20 before it's down.
Very proud tradition here, Tim, and they have expectations, man.
49-yard boot. Well, to help people affected by Hurricane Ida, visit redcross.org or text the word Ida to 90999 to make a $10 donation. Your gift is a commitment to helping people in need, and every single donation matters. Financial donations enable the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. Well, Davis Brin brings his Golden Hurricane out. Still only down by 2 scores with Anthony Watkins in the backfield. But he's down Stokes. And recently he lost Sam Crawford at the post. There it is. Right to Juan Carlos Santana on the quick post. Was that a skinny one, Spencer? Bryson Shaw comes away with a tackle.
Great call, partner. It was skinny, and it was quick. It was right now. But as you look at the route, what he's going to wind up doing is keeping it vertical eventually. He bends it inside, and that is a classic post route. But what you ultimately want to do, if you were able to see the safety play, if he continues down those numbers, he's going to be wide open on the vertical. So that becomes a skinny post route.
Yeah, he got nailed by Shaw, and he'll have to shake out the cobwebs himself.
And you take about 12 degrees off of that hard cut, then that becomes a skinny post. It's just about running maybe about 2 or 3 yards inside that hash number, but you're trying to get vertical down the field.
And our friend Dan Hawkins of UC Davis is watching today's game, I know. His team is going to vie for the Division II National Championship this year. His club really turned over this team. This club is playing a lot better today than they did against UC Davis. That's Watkins forging ahead for really the best run of the day from scrimmage by a Golden Hurricane back.
Well, you love the way he ran it. You know, Anthony is a type of running back, man. He's only like 5'10", 207, more of a classic running back, but he's got power.
Quick option going towards the boundary.
There'll be a flag
ahead for a first down with a late flag. That's Eichenberg, 35, the sophomore from Cleveland, St. Ignatius.
Usually going to be holding when a guy's trying to get to the edge like that, and that side judge flings that laundry out there, man. The guy on the edge gets caught. Holding.
Holding. Offense number 47. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Ethan Hall, 47, the guilty party.
Yeah, that's the H or the tight end. Ethan is a big guy, you know, about 6'3", 240 pounds, a classic H-back, but those guys, he's got his hand all on his shoulder.
That's a little bit of a takedown there. John Cena would have been proud of that. Second down, 9 yards to go.
He's upset about it, too.
Watkins is checked in the backfield. The coach's son, Cannon Montgomery, number 20, is in the game now. Davis Brin with a quick out to Juan Carlos Santana. Gets about 4, and that's it. Latham Ransom, number 12, with the stop.
Excellent coverage by Ohio State. Pretty much staying in that single high safety look. And for you guys that are watching at home, all that means when you see one safety back there, that's the defense saying, we're not going to let you run the football. We're going to put more bodies around the line of scrimmage to defend. So you got a nice little cluster here. You got 3 guys down. Let's see how Ohio State deciphers this switch. Inside, you got them inside right now.
A pump fake. And, well, Naylor had a shot at it twice. Could not reel it in.
Boy, he had a really what they call a levels concept working there. 2 receivers working over the middle. He had 2 open receivers in that situation. You see, that's what this little cluster will do. You got coverage underneath, and then a late guy developing. You had 2 of them. You had 2 choices there. I probably would have hit the deeper route.
Look, this was caught and dropped twice.
Yep.
His shin almost gave him another.
Well, that's been the story, Tim. You know, early in the first half, we had the deflected ball off the carom.
Yep.
You got to catch those.
Wilson to punt it away, and Garrett Wilson in single safety at his own 10. Lockman Wilson with an end-over-end boot, and the fair catch at the 11 by Garrett. Hard to believe that Olave still does not as yet have a catch.
It is amazing, but what it shows you that Tulsa's done their job, right? Taking away the things that you do best. We know that Ohio State's going to try to establish the run first, but we know that they're explosive at wide receiver, man. It's all predicated on establishing their run first.
The year of the fan. Good to see them back out here. By the way, did you get your
Buckeye?
Your Buckeye? Your Buck?
Yeah. I can put it in my pocket for good luck, man.
I've got a I've got a few of these that I've collected through the years of basketball, and Jerry Eme got us.
It's just between us now. You didn't eat any of the ones
no,
that
I
you
did
had
not.
in the box, did you?
Henderson's back in the game, and look out. Look out.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a face mask. That's going to be face mask on Henderson, and that's unfortunate because up until that point, he did everything right. And you hear me talk about ad nauseum, placing the ball in the proper hand and all that stuff. He did it and got an additional 17 yards. That's why you place the ball in the furthest hand close to the line of scrimmage. Here comes the assessment of what took place.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense number 32. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Yardage results in a first down.
I believe that's one of those, though, the offensive coaches are okay with a mistake of aggression.
Yeah. Listen, I remember a play like that against the Giants. And the bottom line is you got to let go. They'll let you have it if you stiff arm them, but you got to let it go. When you close the hand to grab that face mask.
You might even get away with letting go and going back.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't hang on
clasp
like that.
your fingers like that, that right there is what when the guy's head turns.
I remember Emmitt Smith playing a game against the Giants in the early 90s with Troy when they were making a Super Bowl run, and he had that bad arm. He was really playing with only one arm.
Against the Giants.
Yeah, against the Giants in the Meadowlands, and he did that all day long. TreVeyon's just not Emmitt yet. Maybe on his way, but he's not there yet.
He's a big, strong guy, too, man. I mean, he literally, I was counting, lived 17 yards from the time he initiated the contact.
He's been the star of the day. I don't think there's any question of that. Teague has had, as we said, that one really good drive. But TreVeyon has given us every indication that he is a 5-star with a bullet today.
Just inside zone. That's all this is. Whether it's short yardage, inside situation, or scoring in the green zone. That little subtle move right there is so Arian Foster, man. That one cut, never breaks strides to get in. He's a scoring machine, physical. I love this kid right here, man. That guy number 28 isn't too bad either. He's pretty strong, too.
And when we chatted with him yesterday, I really felt like we would see all of them. We have seen, it's interesting that Master Teague did not have a carry in their last outing against Oregon. TreVeyon, let's face it, he's a next-level guy. But Mayan Williams, if you've seen him, oh, my goodness.
He runs violent, man. And I tell you what's happening here, Tim. There's a lot of managing personalities that aren't quite yet mature. The uniform says a lot about tradition, but these young men still have to grow up. And what Coach Ryan Day is doing is managing personalities. And coaches, too.
Which is code for massaging egos.
No question. Well, it is. It's just the era that we live in, and it made possible by the transfer portal and those threats that were not once there are.
Henderson, the lone setback. Olave at the bottom of your screen. Let's see if he gets a touch. On the cross, it's incomplete. Pass intended for Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
The Jackson player, the right tackle, the defensive tackle is the one that got pressure. Doing a wonderful job for Joseph Gillespie, the defensive coordinator for Tulsa. We hadn't heard a lot from him, but you can see him coming off the edge. They had a nice little slow blitz that they stated. Kendran Ray and company, safety, securing that side against the run.
That young man is, there's Olave again, trying to get free. Jackson player number 9, he's on all kinds of lists. The Nagurski, the Bednarik, all of them for Tulsa. And we've got a marker down.
Illegal snap. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's Whippler, the redshirt freshman center. We're hoping to get Miller back soon, but to this point, he's not been available. A little flinch here.
Yep. Call this hold your water, man. When the center does that, that's really an issue. He's the only one that knows the count. Or he's in control of it. Let's put it that way.
By the way, as you get older, that takes on an entirely different meaning. Second and 15. Stroud, 10 of 20, 122 yards. No touchdowns.
5 wide.
Plus an interception. Empty backfield.
Nice.
That is a nice slant. by Smith and Jigba. And it's good for 15 yards.
And Jigba, wonderful job of just sifting. You don't have to make big plays. If people are playing prevent-type defense, just find the voids back there. See, the first level linebacker is playing zone underneath. That's Johan Burnett, number 35. Lets him pass behind him and say, hey, look, I'm not going to continue to run and cover myself. Let's just sit down in this little naked area right here. A little homestead exemption.
Marker down again. That shift right before the snap is what got him in trouble.
Ball start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Matthew Jones again, Timmy.
There was that shift right before the snap. And you see the move right there. That's flinch on the left side. He was pulling.
Left guard is pulling. You know, a lot of times guys will do that. They'll get anxious, particularly when that center's hind parts is obstructing his vision to see the guy he's needing to block, which in this particular case is a defensive tackle that's reduced. That's a problem. Nice guy.
Pressure again. Ball is loose. Ball's on the ground. Tulsa's got it. And they're back in business. The backside pressure.
Kendarian Ray, man.
Good low with the recovery, 94. And Kendarian Ray, number 1, came with the safety blitz.
Well, 2 plays ago, he had a chance to get there, just couldn't get home. But you see number 1 coming off the edge, so the back's got to make a decision. And so when you decide to go, and it was the right decision, the inside of the more 2 rushers, but the outside guy still had enough, and that meant the coverage had integrity, so the quarterback, C.J. Stroud, could not find somebody open. That allowed the corner to finally get there and get home.
Well, the hat's back on.
Yep.
The feather is still, is that a scarlet feather? I think it may be. So let's see what the Golden Hurricane can do with it. Now, look, the thing I've noticed, Spencer, especially in the second half, they've been bruised and battered. A lot of banged-up guys out there offensively. Davis Brin does not have all of his artillery. Didn't have Stokes to start the game. Throughout the game, he's lost Sam Crawford for a period. And he's reduced in terms of the number of options he has. And the run game has not gotten off the ground hardly at all.
Yeah, I've been following Philip Montgomery for a long time. And one of the things that Brin needs to develop is when he's down with those receivers you talked about, when he escapes, he needs to understand what's happening coverage-wise. He could have run. Even though they're not asking him to, he could have run for significant yardage there.
2nd and 10. Zone read.
Nice job.
It's Prince. Derek Prince. And a marker down as he takes himself out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
And Derek Prince, the ball carrier.
They've got a couple of really good backs, but you can see, again, on the outside, Prince, they got what they call sift. Number 47 is coming across to help block out. That's Ethan Hall. But then on the outside.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
Yeah, you got to be careful about dragging him down by that jersey, too, man. That's
They got Juan Carlos Santana with the hold.
Nice job on the pivot route. Now he turns into a blocker and just grabs the guy and pulls him down.
Wow, I don't know. That's a little, as my friend Bill Raftery would say, a little nickel-dimer there.
Well, Cameron Brown looked like he won that one. He was just taking him down, and, you know.
If he hadn't extended his arms at all, there would have really been no call, but as it is, 2nd and 12. Out of the rollout. Beautiful concept there to Josh
Johnson. Bring that back to his holding, Tim.
Marker down. Should be holding again.
Well, maybe it looks like they're pointing against the defense.
Maybe it's personal foul.
Yep.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 93. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's huge.
Well, here you go, Tim. Watch 47. This is what we call sift. When you bring him across the formation, quarterback, the ball is gone. He continues to push through to him. And again, you can mix hairs and say that it wasn't necessarily a push, but yeah, that was an extra push there.
Cowan,
quarterback.
93, the redshirt freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, gets tagged with a push. You know, you got a lot of young guys out there getting opportunities today with this defensive shift that's taken place. He got a little excited. And here's Johnson on the flare. Gets it down to the 20. Nothing doing, really. A loss of about a half yard. Tyreek Smith there to make the stop.
Yeah, Juan Carlos Santana, a wonderful job of responding to the penalty he had earlier by backing off number 5 and preserving an opportunity to get some yards on that play, but otherwise that was setting up like a illegal block as well. Nice heads-up play, no mistakes. Big stage here.
Watkins has re-entered the game.
Inverted bunch formation up top. Let's see, they got a throw route.
There it is, wide open. On the cross, it's the coach's son. Touchdown, Cannon Montgomery. Into the game because of the injuries to both Crawford and Keelan Stokes. The senior, 3-year letterman, the son of the coach, makes it happen.
It's that inverted route here. What we're talking about, Tim, is almost like the bunch route, but he comes underneath, and they don't account for him. And I guarantee you, they dismissed the coach's son on that. They didn't game plan and think he would be considered legitimate risk, and they paid dearly for it. But you've got to sort that cluster out.
I think Coach just became dad for a second over there. Did you see that?
That'll make your moment.
You had to go over there and congratulate him.
That'll make a career right there, man. That's special.
That could be in the Tulsa brochure next year. I'm just saying. Along with the extra point. It's a one-score game. What appeared to be, for just a moment, a comfortable lead has led to this bow to the crowd. And the road team says... Let's take a look at this one more time. Almost a no-looker here from Davis Brin.
Those eyes sailed it. You see that ball come across? That's a Patrick Mahomes-esque type. Not totally across the body, but you find the coach's son underneath. Had about 14 degrees on that pass, the opposite direction. Man, that always works when you can sell the eyes, man. That's beautiful.
Now hold on to that football, young man. First touchdown for the coach's son. And you could tell by the way the head coach reacted. For just a moment, he decided to become a dad. And on the return, Xavier Johnson gets it out to the 28-yard line. That's where the Buckeyes take over 1st and 10. That's a happy group. The entire team is really excited for the coach's son.
And that really tells you something, how they feel about him, too.
Yeah.
Here's another look at it, Tim. The eyes of the quarterback helps this out. They didn't throw across his body. Throwing it where the player will be as opposed to where he was, always great. And I think that route, the way he ran it and the way the ball was thrown, helped him avoid that inside field cornerback, Cameron Brown, number 26.
Well, that's his first catch of the year, his 4th catch of his career, and his first ever touchdown.
And that passion you just saw is something special, too, because, you know, I've seen, unfortunately, dynamics on teams where the coach's sons doesn't get that kind of love.
Yeah.
But when you see that, that's authentic right there, man. You want the coach's son to do well.
Henderson gets it out for a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Look at those numbers on Henderson. 192, 2 touchdowns. He's been the difference in the game. Again, bootleg action. And it's Stover on the receiving end. And he's ahead to the 48 with intentionality.
Stover steamrolled one hurricane right there. That was more like a Cat 5. Powers was coming. And Stover's, it was more like a hurricane. He ran right into him, man. Burped him big time.
17 yards, and we've got another Golden Hurricane on the ground, and that's TreVeyon Fuller, number 2. They've had a lot of guys banged up in the second half. It's gotten very physical. I mean, look, this is a team that is outmanned. No question about that. Watch this, though. This is steamroller action here.
But you got to have 1-2, Timmy, to make that play right there. Tyron Davis, the left cornerback, came in there and just put his nose right in there, man.
Stover looked a little like Mark Bavaro there. Remember that shot of Parcells? He says, look at those eyes on Bavaro. He's like crazy out there. That's what Stover looked like as he bulldozed a couple of Tulsa players.
Giving up about 30, 40 pounds, man. That tells me something about you if you're willing to stick your nose in there like that.
Well, Ohio State's freshman rushing record for a single game, and you may be thinking about that when you look at the numbers on TreVeyon Henderson. 239 for Archie Griffin. That's the record for a single game in 1972. And Henderson's now at 191 with plenty of time left. You're right. He stuck his nose in there, did Tyon Davis, but Stover said, I'll just raise you and get a few more.
Davis brought his whole body to the cave, man. After he just put his shoulder in there, he put the legs up in the air, man. That's what you call committed.
Spencer, this is game one of the do-over for Ohio State, and I'd love to get your thoughts on what Ryan Day has seen to this point. Now remember, they play Akron next week. They go to Rutgers in the Big Ten the first week of October, 3-0 Maryland after that, then a bye, and then at Indiana. So they've got some time, and TreVeyon's got some wheels. There he goes. Archie Griffin's record really in peril. 52 yards, a single game rushing record for TreVeyon Henderson at Ohio State. He's officially at 243 after this jaunt.
Love it, the counteraction, bringing the H-back across the field, and he does an instinctive job of making you miss, getting upfield, outrunning the back half of that secondary from the Tulsa Hurricane. No answer for him, and you better believe it. It's time, man. That guy right there's a baller, man. Big time.
It's his day, no question about it. Arian Foster, Dwayne Thomas, look, they're part of the past. He's living in the present, the here and now, and the future is looking good. There are the numbers eclipsing, as we mentioned, the freshman record. Archie Griffin, 1972. TreVeyon in one play.
Not bad for a guy that didn't play his senior year of football in high school, man. That's pretty impressive. You know, Virginia shut down that final season. Actually moved it back. And so he ended up skipping the final year. Still was the top back in Virginia. The lead in America.
Fair catch, they'll bring it out. Well, tonight on Fox, it's a fight to keep pace in the wildcard standings. Bryce Harper and the Phillies take on Pete Alonso and the Mets. Or the NL Central leading Brewers host the Cubs. Check local listings for the game in your area only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
The Masons.
Look at those runs. 48, 54, the last one 52. And literally at 191, our content coordinator, Scott Alexander, was like, just in case you're wondering, and I was.
Explosive plays.
And he went for 52 to break the record the very next play. Shamari Brooks. He's out to the 32. You know, Spencer, Shamari Brooks, a young man that suffered an ACL before the season opener. He missed all of the 2020 COVID season. I still believe as a senior out of Union High School in Tulsa, he's just getting his playing shape rounded out about now.
He came highly touted. You know, that Union High School along with Jinx, it's two of the iconic schools in Oklahoma, to be sure. Some of the best in the country. Play excellent football. Their players are coached up as well, extremely.
Sharing time with Deneric Prince.
Nice.
That's right on target, and look out! There goes Ezra Naylor. He's got it down to the 30-yard line. And Davis Brin threw a dart. I mean, an absolute dart.
Well, you get the ball in the hands of a big body guy like that, coming out with the flat occupied to pull that corner out. Finds a little soft spot in between them, and those two guys bounce off of one another, and he continues on. I love how he is aware that the pressure is coming, but he pulled that ball down. Needed to have that kind of attention throughout the course of the day.
Looks like explosive plays may be the order of the day as we open fourth quarter action. Brooks ahead for 5.
Well, what you're seeing here is Philip Montgomery saying, hey, look, we can go pace and tempo and try to match you. And if they do that, well, it's telling you something about what this team is capable of doing. They just want to win a close game.
Javon Jean-Baptiste made that tackle. And a flag comes down as he goes down.
Penalty marker on the play.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field. 5-yard penalty. That yardage results in a first down.
And again, with everything that's going on, the changes being made, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of this today. We've seen alignment issues because they were late getting personnel groupings in. That's the first time we've seen 12 men on the field.
Well, down 14, I can guarantee you're going to see pace and tempo, the balance of the game. And so to whatever degree that Ohio State has remedied their problems, you're going to see it, sorting it out, being able to figure out who needs to be on. And that's about recognition of personnel. That's communication from the guys up top in the booth and down on the field.
Bryn. Oh, it was right there, too. Pass was too low for Shamari Brooks. And, Spencer, if that pass is on target, it goes a long way.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Tim. Matter of fact, I think you're right. There was pressure there. But I'm of the opinion that if that ball touches your hands in that situation and you're not being contested by a defender, you got to catch it. You just got to catch it, even if it's not on the mark. There was pressure on the quarterback. I mean, those guys right there are working really hard to stop you from doing what your coaches are teaching you to do. Nobody's going to get through unscathed.
2nd and 10. Bryson Shaw is the safety that you need to be keeping an eye on. And there goes Brooks again. Shamari inside the 20 to the 17. Gain of 3.
That was an interesting call. So they want to put him in the middle of the field. Now, let's see. This is going to be an interesting call here. So you got 3rd.
Tells me they're thinking 4 downs.
Well, they're going to go for it. Listen, you're down 14 points, Tim. They're going to go for it. They're going to try to get points some way.
2 downs to get 7 yards. That's what I'm thinking. Trips to the bottom of your screen.
Watch the fade. They're trying to cut down their splits up top on the 20s. They may take a shot.
Flags down.
That's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
The coach's son. You see, you hate to see that happen because
start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, they've shot themselves in the foot with that a couple of times, but look, they've been banged up. Dylan Wade is listed 3rd at right tackle, and he's in the game right now.
And that's sad, too, because watch where the coach's son is. The shallow crossing route is open. A natural pick there. They let him go. He's wide open, Tim. 20's right there. Now you can't run that play again because I guarantee you they're going to make an adjustment.
So now it's 3rd and 12. Timeout, Buckeyes. They were not happy with the alignment.
They're first.
We'll take it with them. We'll see what Phillip comes up with in just a moment. Talk about some greats. How about Jerry Rome? On a conversion like this, would you like to have Steve Largent maybe on the receiving end from Jerry Rome? 2 Tulsa greats through the years. Phillip Montgomery now with 3rd and 12. And you figure he has 2 downs to pick up the 12 yards.
We're talking about guys who had creative plays. Jerry Rome's with my offensive coordinator at Houston back in the day. He had a play called Purple Haze. That tells you a little bit something about where his mind was.
I'm in a purple haze whenever I'm with you. Bryn out of the gun.
Why he got him wide open.
There, it's touchdown. It's Josh Johnson. And bingo, bango, bongo. Jerry Rome would be proud of that one.
Run all through my brain. Lately, Tim, things don't seem the same.
Wow. How wide open was he?
Woo. And that's what happens as you give a guy like Phillip Montgomery time to sort out what you're doing. And there was a reason why they call it timeout. It comes from the bunch formation. You see the natural pick underneath. The coach's son took 2 Buckeyes out.
He did. He did.
And he made it look so natural, too. He turned it into like a zone read. He didn't put himself in a position where an official could construe it as being a pick.
Zach Long with the extra point. And a game that it appeared Ohio State had taken control of midway through the 3rd. It's game on.
Yes, sir.
In the 4th. A little how do you do?
Timmy, look at Generic Prince here, number 8, picking up the blitz. A wonderful job of jamming that hole to give the quarterback, Davis Brent, enough time to find an open receiver. Look at the coach's son at the apex of this cluster right here, doing a wonderful job of just butting and then turning, presenting his numbers. But he essentially picked two would-be Buckeye defenders to open up the wide-open receiver, Josh Johnson, on the back end. I'm telling you, that's collaboration, man. It takes all of it to happen. 6 plays, 75 yards, consuming 2 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock. And that's a masterful job.
The number one cheerleader was Keelan Stokes. Saw him over there pepping up his guys. Well, Johnson's career best game, no doubt about that. Well, what a hit right there. Tulsa with a little mojo here on special teams.
Listen to this, Tim. That'll make you change your mind, boy.
That was a big-time stick by Dorian Hopkins, the reserve linebacker. And you see the numbers for today versus last week against Oregon. I think that the anxiety has been a factor for him. Looking at long, Olave, at long last, his first catch of the day. Marker down at the line of scrimmage. He may come back.
He's coming back.
That's little yellow hickey.
Offense number 77. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Paris Johnson, the right guard, Timmy, got caught. And he's a big guy, but Paris Johnson Jr. got caught with a hand to the face. And very athletic guy. You can see him in that guard position there, reaching down, punching, protecting. And I don't know where there it comes right there, that left hand. It's a face mask. He just grabs it and pulls it down.
By the way, he's played 30 games, Chris Olave. He's never gone without a catch. He had one there, and it was a huge one that's been negated.
See, now if you're Joseph Gillespie, the defensive coordinator for Tulsa, you come back in a cover 2 shell, or you bring that middle linebacker all the way back in the back so that you don't get gashed again. This is excellent coverage.
TreVeyon Henderson, the lone setback. First and 25. Underneath, he goes to the tight end, Ruckert. Back to nearly the line of scrimmage, a yard shy of it. Gain of 14.
Tim, you can afford to play that after you've had a penalty that pushed you back. You can play soft coverage or 3 deep in that case and give up some chunk yardage back. More aggressive here with a single high safety look. Pressure.
Henderson. He gets 2, maybe 3. Justin Wright the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and long.
You know, every coverage has its strengths and its weaknesses. And what in 40 seconds coaches are trying to do is discern exactly what the offense is likely to do and let me call a defense that's going to give me the best chance to defend that look. But there's always real-time adjustments being made before the ball is being snapped. Tulsa's doing it right now with they're defending the run, trying to disguise it, coming back in cover 2. Now they're in cover 1. A little sugar on this look. Single high safety. Tough to catch.
Pokes it off. That's Garrett Wilson. He'll be well short.
Yep.
To the 40, and that's that.
And see, that's a safe look, Tim. It was a single safety look, and again, this game is about names and numbers. If I've just got one safety, that means I got a lot more people around the line of scrimmage. So if you're trying to throw those underneath passes or run the ball, there's a lot more bodies in white shirts you got to contend with. This game is not rocket science.
A lot of displeasure. You see Joe Gillespie, the defensive coordinator, very happy with the play of Elijah Taylor there. The transfer from Notre Dame made a nice play. Cam Benjamin is back deep, awaiting this punt from Mirko. Fair catch at the 18-yard line. 42-yard boot. Well, it was this hold on Paris Johnson, the sophomore from Cincinnati, that cost Olave his first catch and the Buckeyes a scoring opportunity. Tulsa is still in it. The looks on the faces of this stunned crowd would have you believe their team was down a touchdown as opposed to leading. This is a reclamation project that's underway. Your coaching staff knows this. It's going to take a while for them to figure it out. Deneric Prince in the arms of Hickman, who's had a pretty good day defensively, an interception earlier, and has made a few good sticks defensively.
Tim, you're absolutely right about that long play notion, and the one voice analogy really plays through. Whose voice are you going to listen to? The coach has told you that he is bereft of some talent on the back end of this team. It's not like it has been.
Well, there are just some realities in terms of
and it's
what
okay.
transpires. Yep. A little out pattern is good for a first down to Ethan Hall. Listen, you had Bosa that saved your defensive deficiencies. Then Chase Young saved your deficiencies. And then suddenly, after a COVID season, where because of your reputation, you get where you want to go, a championship game, but then you're also exposed. And that's followed through from then to the beginning of this season. And it's going to take a while. Tulsa's up to 410 yards.
Wow. Pow. Burton.
And that is Santana with Eichenberg all over it.
I'll tell you right here, you got to have some courage, man.
Indeed. That was a heck of a hit.
What a textbook shot, too.
Yep.
I mean, just mindful of targeting and being able to avoid it with that head over to the left side. Just how you coach it up. That's excellent football.
I'm actually surprised happily that they didn't throw a flag just because of the nature of the hit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was just a textbook tackle. I'm really glad that we play on after that.
Here comes a little pressure. Wow.
Prince pops it. Prince beyond midfield. Hickman runs him down at the 46. It's game on. 8 and change. That's a 24-yard gain.
Tim, take a look here, right here. Look at 30 and 35. When they replace, watch where the running back goes. The opposite direction where 35 leaves. That shows you exactly that they're dialed in. That's Tommy Eichenberg, the defender. Blitz one direction, and the back goes the opposite direction. That's just great instinct.
Santana almost got that one on the tip drill. That ball hung in the air for quite a while. Tulsa's previous long run was 9 yards prior to that 24-yard jaunt by Prince that got them to the 46-yard line. 2nd and 10 coming up.
They did get a hand on that, right?
Could have been intercepted. And almost caught. Brooks. He gets 4 on that carry. Stopped by Marcus Williamson. They'll say 3 rather than 4.
Tim, I've seen this happen a lot of times with this scheme. And, you know, you've heard me refer to painting the field. When you get a coach like Coach Graham, when he's painting the field like he is, Phillip is doing a wonderful job of stressing all parts of the field vertically and horizontally. And when you do that, it breeds indecision. And then he comes back and hits you with a vertical route of some sort. This twin package right here is a dangerous look for Ohio State.
Pressure. Brins in trouble. Down he goes. Big time maneuver.
They needed that.
It was a huge move. Coming pressure right up the gut. Tyleek Williams, the big tackle, a true freshman, making the play. A loss of 17.
You talk about timely, man. It doesn't get any better than this. Showing you pressure on a nice game and deal on the outside. Big 91 comes in there rolling hard, nasty. Oh, man, he shows you he's passionate about getting to the quarterback.
And Wheeler, the center, is down. To add insult to injury, the center is on the ground. A lot of Tulsa players have gotten banged up. The injury report is going to be long on the way back to Oklahoma after this one.
And well, Tulsa doesn't have the depth that Ohio State does, too, and you can see that freshness coming in there. And the quarterback, a mistake on his part by taking that sack and just backing up directly. Take your losses, man.
Spencer, they got a fresh body in there, a freshman that, you know, a true freshman to make that play on what is a 3rd and long, and now they got to boot it away, and the Buckeyes figure to get quality field position that otherwise they would not have had on the exchange of possession.
Yeah, but the context determines your strategy. Just 3rd and long, Tim, you can't take that sack. You just can't do it.
Wilson will boot it away. He hit a 63-yarder earlier today. He'll angle this one for the corner. And here comes Garrett Wilson. Out of bounds beyond the 30.
Trying to get a penalty on the sideline there.
Buckeyes have it. 6:49 remaining. Yeah. Young man from Virginia with a bull rush. Buckeyes trying to flex their muscles late. We'll close this one out. It has been anything but easy against Tulsa. They're up by a touchdown. Henderson, who's had a record-breaking day for a freshman running back at Ohio State, will carry it again. There he goes. Look out. Many more records yet to come. Listen, he broke the single-game freshman record earlier, all right? He now has, with 31 more yards, other records for single game all time in his sights. He's now at 277. That moves him up to number 3 all time. Only Trey Sermon, who had 331 in the Big Ten title game a year ago, and Eddie George at 314 have more. Ezekiel Elliott had 274. He just got past him. He now has 277.
Could dialed up a better run blitz, and he still beat it to the edge.
Master Teague checks in.
Nice.
And another 9, maybe 10-yard gain. They'll give him enough for a first down as they give the freshman a breather.
And they're finding some love on the right side of that line. Watch the guard who's off pulling on this side right here, Tim. He's pulling. 55 does a nice job of hooking and turning upside to give him a chance to Master T to get to that edge, showing you tremendous balance to finish off. Matthew Jones.
I think that sack, that big 17-yard loss, Spencer, may have been the calling card for the Buckeyes to close this baby out. That's Jackson player number 90 that moved prematurely. We'll see.
Offside with contact.
It is offside.
Number 90. 5-yard penalty.
Well,
still first down.
Now, for those of you that are tuning in for PBC Fight Night, that is available right now on FS2 and streaming live on the Fox Sports app. We'll get you out there at the immediate conclusion of our game here on FS1.
I think you're right, partner. I think you were right about taking that sack. That was key in that crucial 3rd and long.
Teague remains in the game. Olave, who's without a catch.
Now they're going to try to work their little shallow cross. Watch 20 up top.
Teague barrels ahead inside the 15 to the 14. Stopped by Kendarin Ray, the strong safety.
They showed me the look that looked like a run look, and they're mirroring exactly what their scheme is, making it look just like pass in terms of formation and what their preferences are. When you see those receivers cut down their split, they're doing it for 1 or 2 reasons, trying to get in a position where they can better block or clear the middle of the field. Coach is playing the game now. How about a switch route down here?
Well, it's 2nd and 1. The entire playbook should be open.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Inside zone.
Teague. I don't know. I don't think he got there.
Nope, he didn't.
And the crowd does not like the call.
Well, like you said, you had it down to give.
You did.
Tim. I would have taken a shot onto the wide side of the field right here with something.
Listen, they are a sophisticated crowd. I mean, they know good football. They've had it, for generations here in Columbus. But you see the clock still going tick, 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 tick. I'm sure that's what Ryan Day has in mind. 3rd and 1. Teague again. He burrows ahead for the first down.
That was their 2 tight end package. Look, going with the bigger personnel, and certainly they're at this stage of the game bigger, probably a little less worn than Tulsa is right now, and playing to their strengths.
Now think about that. Sermon had 331 in that one game a year ago, Spence, when they were claiming the Big Ten crown. Oklahoma transfer.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to think, who did you score your first touchdown against?
It was Ohio State in Norman.
I think I remember that.
But Keith Byers had the better of it, though, in the end.
He was one on that list, by the way, that got bypassed today by Henderson.
Yep, Dayton Dunbar's finest.
Nothing doing for Master Teague this time. That's Everett Rogers, 99, making the stop.
Yards, timeout, Tulsa.
Either way, the Golden Hurricane will come away, even if they are 0-3, Spencer, with one of those dubious tags like a really, really good 0-3 team.
Yep, a moral victory. You know, it's a cliche, but it's so absolutely true. One of the things that we mentioned at halftime that Coach told us that he wanted to do was just to ignore the emblem.
Yeah.
Anything, the O, anything that's indicating the currency of the game as far as Ohio State is concerned, doesn't matter to us. We're coming here to play a game. We're not intimidated. He cited places like Oklahoma, Texas, and other big venues.
And in many cases, Joe Gillespie, the defensive coordinator's really got to be proud. You know, in a lot of ways, they won the battle, but they did not win the war. Oklahoma State exploded. He didn't want to give up big plays. There were some big plays today. You know, Henderson had a lot to do with the big plays. But in the passing game, Tulsa did a really good job. Olave without a catch.
They acquitted themselves. I mean, they did a wonderful job in the first half in particular.
30 games for Chris Olave. Never has he gone without a reception. There it is. It's Garrett Wilson for the touchdown.
Boy, he put Tyon Davis in his hip pocket, man. That left cornerback was trailing him, number 0, and he just ran away from him. And I love the fact that you're going to give him the quarterback time to move. C.J. Stroud moved along with him and got rid of that football. It's just a great design, great execution.
It looked like Davis thought he had help, and that maybe the safety didn't get there quickly enough.
Well, they were actually in man coverage, and so your take is right, and it was confusing. But because he chased him the entire way, we can assume it was man coverage.
Garrett Wilson's 14th career touchdown. At long last, may have put this one finally on ice. Buckeyes by a pair of touchdowns.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by Root Metrics. And our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power. #1 in reliability 16 times in a row. Most awarded for network quality 27 times in a row. Proving once again that nobody builds networks like Verizon. That's why we're building 5G right. That's why there's only one best network.
Really impressed with that young man, his play today. Again, all those options available. No Olave, no problem. Garrett Wilson will take over. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba had the big second half against Oregon a week ago. So many options from a skill position standpoint for this Buckeyes team. And for Stroud, here in the late stages, maybe a little something to build on for the freshman. Watkins with the fair catch. Well, now it's time for this afternoon's celebration moment, sponsored by Allstate. Who's going to be celebrating today? This man right here. The Buckeyes running back, getting it done. TreVeyon Henderson moving all the way to number 3 in all-time rushing in a single game. And the fans here at the Horseshoe maybe a little hard on their team early and probably still very concerned late, and come away hoping that they can build on today and in this next 3 to 4 week period, Spencer, make a move before they have to go on the road in the Big Ten. And they've really got over a month before they have to worry about that. Little curl, ball tipped into the air, almost picked, and then almost received by Cannon Montgomery. Yeah, that was a hot potato there. It was knocked around by Steel Chambers, number 22. Cannon Montgomery almost got it on the tip drill.
That's a tough throw, man, throwing it to the long side of the field. You got 3 red shirts around, 1 white shirt. That's just a lot of extra bodies around there. This is more like it. Get in the middle of the field and go 4 by.
Shallow cross. Josh Johnson ahead. He's about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. We'll call it a 9-yard gain.
Now you want to go pace, get lined up really quickly, and let your coach make good calls from the sideline. Philip Montgomery's one of the best play callers around.
Golden Hurricane have 2 timeouts left. 7 of 15 on third down. Only 2 of their last 9, however. Brooks, he's got it with ease. Out past the 40. 9-yard pickup.
So Ohio State is in a 2-safety look, and they're just playing to keep everything in front of them. 2 deep safeties, one a little bit shallower than the other.
Pressure off the edge. Wren keeps the play alive.
Yep.
Throws it right into the arms of Cameron Martinez. And here he comes with a convoy. Flag is down at the 45-yard line. 60 yards on the return with the interception.
I think it was after the interception, though, Timmy, on the return, where the penalty comes in, but they'll bring that back, but it definitely will be Ohio State's ball. Ohio State showing pressure, got gaming and dealing going on. This is the mistake that the quarterback makes, along with the third down and taking the sack. This is the second.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct fouls on each team. Defense, number 17. Offense, number 73. Those are the first unsportsmanlike conduct fouls for each player.
But the moment still belongs to Martinez. The pick 6 counts. Offsetting unsportsmanlikes against both after the touchdown. And the freshman, the redshirt freshman from Muskegon, Michigan, has his moment. Getting to the point where an extra point might matter to some people.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
Tim, it's the interceptions that's costly, particularly when you take these right here. You can't plant your feet and set your body. He got away with a couple of different shots earlier, athletic throws that he makes, but once again, an excellent job of being in position. Too many red jerseys around the ball. You have got to set your feet and turn your shoulders upfield. No margin for error against this top unit on this series right here. And on the return, forget the fact that you're a quarterback, brother. You're trying to stop our guy.
Anthony Watkins on the return. Buckeyes close the hammer inside the 15 at the 14. Score will not be indicative of how competitive the game has been.
You took the words right out of my mouth. And again, unfortunately, we live in a world of images and impressions. People will see that score and think that something else happened other than what actually transpired today. If you're Philip Montgomery and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, I'm holding my head up high today. Just made some critical errors that unfortunately led to points. But I also think that Ohio State has acquitted itself and began the process to confronting who they actually are and closing that gap between what the history is where they are currently.
Well, look, I don't know in all my years, in all our years, because you and I have been together for 23 of the last 24 years, Spencer. I don't recall ever a time when I came into a situation, as you see that seam route right to Josh Johnson, good for a big gain out to the 45, where the pressure was so intense on a young, dynamic, and successful coach that you could feel it even before he began to talk with us. And he was as accommodating as he could have possibly been. But it was easy to see that these were indeed seminal moments facing Ryan Day and his staff.
Now, there's going to be a penalty here, but just like you could see plays before they transpired, Ryan Day understood where he was. He sees the talent. He knows who he's recruiting. He knows who's left and no longer anchoring this team. You can't lose the type of players that he has in 2019. This was the best defense.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
I love his honesty about those that influenced him, and that's such a powerful word today, whether in sports or in life. Influence. Urban Meyer recently, but his foundation is Chip Kelly. And I can't think of two men more diametrically different for you to pull from to become a charismatic whole as a head coach.
Innovative, very creative. Chip is a quintessential coach. I've seen that guy work with big splits when he had to, much like Mike Leach used to do with those huge wide splits, and then he'd come back and play power football. But really, coaching is about taking the talent that you have and then designing something that leverages their ability instead of shoehorning young athletes into something that you've spent your career trying to build. The essence of coaching is working around the skills that you have.
Ezra Naylor on the receiving end of that pass. Tulsa has 482 yards of total offense. That pass is batted down.
You know,
that's Craig Young, number 15, sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
The only question I have about Tulsa, besides maybe the occasional quarterback plays, we take a look at this one right here. If you can't affect the quarterback getting to him, time it up, like J.J. Watt used to do all the time, the former Wisconsin Badger. He used to bat those balls down, and it was uncanny, but he says, look, if I can't get home, I'm going to find a way to affect the quarterback, and that's by batting it down.
Anthony Watkins has a first down to the 40. The clock will stop on the first down. Winding an 11-yard gain. By the way, regardless of your brand name, and Ohio State certainly has it, you can make a case there the Patriots and Alabama's like the Cowboys. Alabama struggled today, a 2-point conversion away from a tie with Florida today over in the SEC. I mean, it's just a topsy-turvy situation. We don't now know really what we've got in the college game as Watkins brings that one in. Georgia's number 2, and they were without a quarterback right now. JT Daniels, I'm not sure what they can do. Now the number for Tulsa is at 501 total yards against Ohio State.
Well, each year, each week, the gap closes between the haves and the have-nots. I mean, the instability we see within conference as the flag comes out is happening from team to team, from conference to conference, Tim.
At a time, really, when the conversation and the narrative is about...
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
The pure playoff privilege being separated. Well, they are in brand names, but that doesn't mean that a lot of teams aren't catching up. Look at that. Most yards rushing in a single game all time behind Sermon and Eddie George. That is special, and so are you, TreVeyon. It was a joy to watch him run today.
And he was intent when he ran. He ran physical, hard. When he got dinged a little bit, he wiped it off and jumped back in the mix.
Prior to the snap,
that will do it.
The game clock expired. The game is over.
Ryan Day will get ready for the days ahead, knowing that they had to start somewhere.
Well, he did a wonderful job of stating what the problem was, Timmy, and first step to the resolution.
For Spencer Tillman, our entire crew, Tim Brando saying so long from the old horseshoe. Now let's take you to PBC Fight Night.